Dollar City 14 Centennial Committee meeting Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. Like to stand for pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, have roll, please.
Chairman John Eric Hoover.
Here.
Vice Chairwoman Caroline Gonzalez. Let the record show the Vice Chairwoman Gonzalez is absent for today's meeting. Member Sala Carey.
Here.
Member Adam Thompson.
Present.
Member Julie Keenan.
Here.
Member Cheryl Taylor.
Here.
Member Kim LaCarey.
Here.
Member Debbie Robinson.
Here.
Member Janet Applefield.
Here.
Thank you. First up is comments from the general public. I have no sign-ups, and I have no general public in the audience or on Zoom, so we'll bring it back to comments from the chair and committee members. Let's start with my right with Member LaCarey 2.
I just want to say that that Saturday went really well for the History and Heritage Day. We had about approximately 50 people in and out throughout the afternoon. The tours, the first tour had the most people on it, and then each tour had various amounts of people. Everyone liked the setup that we had in here. I think it went really well. I wish it was more people, but we tried to do what we can. So I'll have a final number for you by next meeting. So probably during this week.
Were we under, do you think?
Everything. I gave the preliminary to the board at the last meeting, and there really wasn't anything outside of that. But I think I came in under budget, which is good.
Cool. Member Thompson.
I have nothing this time.
Member LaCarey 1.
Nothing at this time.
Member Applefield.
I need to talk about the fishing tournament, but I can do that on the budget or the thing for.
No, you're turning off that.
Thank you. Sorry. I need to talk about the fishing tournament, and so I don't know if you want to talk
Well,
about
I'll tell you what,
events
on
later.
specific events, why don't we we'll handle it down somewhere in here. If not, we'll get to an old business, one or two.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Thank you. That's it.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Member Robson.
I thought it was a great job too, and I, Sandal and your wife, and I enjoyed it very much, and thank you, and not at this time.
Okay. Member Taylor.
Not at this time.
Member Keenan.
Not at this time.
Okay. I'll just reiterate what everybody else said. Obviously, it was, like I said, about 50 people. I was here for the first half of it, and it was really enjoyed it. It was nice being on the tour bus. I had premonitions of someday that'll be a regular thing in the city. It was kind of neat. You go on vacation, you take these tours around places and find out about it. It was kind of cool to do that in the city of Port Richey. So it was really good. So appreciate the efforts putting that together. That's all I had. So moving on, we'll go to item number 1, Centennial Events Budget discussion. I'll pass that to Mr. Thompson for his introduction.
Yeah, so I kind of, thank you. I kind of reworked this a little bit, kind of took the in-kind out so it wasn't part of our total budget, our total period. I did update this with just we spent $83 on some medals.
Mhm.
So right now, the only thing we've actual spent that I have on here is $849.13 for the first event, $83.19 for the medals. So our budget, right now is $38,342.48 is what we actually have in cash right at the moment.
Received the $500 from Brianna Consulting today. Did you factor that in?
No, I have not seen that today.
Okay.
She may have put it in my box. I just haven't.
All right, yeah. So that came in as well today.
Okay.
Who was that from?
Brianna Consulting sponsored $500.
They do our city planning
Yeah,
stuff.
she's our city planner.
Oh, that's good.
Didn't I see an email too about somebody else was sending $75 for the business expo? Was that? Were we supposed to receive another $75 for that?
Yeah, we haven't gotten with them yet. They haven't sent us anything.
Okay.
We're going back and forth with emails, but now that we pushed the date, Vice Chair Gonzalez is already in touch with them. So
Okay.
And we're waiting on $2,500 from Whiskey Joe's. That check's supposed to be coming here to City Hall. You haven't seen that, I guess, right? Okay.
Yeah, I just cleaned that out yesterday. Unless it come in today.
Okay.
What was the total on the fireworks?
20,000.
20,000 on the fireworks.
Mr. Mayor, I saw him also, he, at Whiskey River, he told me he had to submit everything
River,
to his, to corporate.
Whiskey Joe's?
Whiskey Joe's,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It cut. I think it was cut last week. Is what he told me.
Okay.
So it should be here any day.
Okay.
Just let you know it's coming. So on your, just a couple things on your thing. Not to be nitpicky or whatever. Just been here for a couple of, but Port Richey got an E in it up there, top left, just so you saw that spelling here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Av 6 commercials missing the L. So I just check through some of those and clean it up since obviously public go out and see the stuff. So
Jeez, Adam. Jesus, jeez.
Somebody should let me go.
You know,
Right?
you said it. No. And we had mentioned about having the remainder. I guess that's what the 38 profit loss is up there.
Yeah, 38 is what we spent so far versus our
Okay, so
total cash.
cash received, spent, and the
Right.
profit loss. Gotcha.
Now, I am including the $75 in event cash in that. Do you mean not include that in our total cash that we have?
No, I think that's probably okay.
Okay.
It's like you got separate there, so let
Yeah.
it push up. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Oh, yeah, I'll fix those little typos.
The only other thing I would suggest is if we could take the budgeted total that we have and show that deducted. Obviously, that can fluctuate.
So you want it taken
So,
out?
for instance, we had 38,000 left, right? But we got 20,000 budgeted for Giant Cash, so we really only got 18 left to budget, or
Well, I can.
encumbered. If you could have encumbered column.
Okay. So the 38,000, I like that because that's how much cash we have. Now I can put this up.
Carry down to the bottom and then
loss. Yeah, and you can kind of see what we have over here. But this big number is what we actually have in cash. But I'll take it out here so you can see what's budgeted versus what.
yeah, that's fine. However you want, just to
Yeah.
look at that quick to see what's
Yeah.
actually left.
I can absolutely do that.
Thank you, that's why I asked.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on budget?
I did spell sponsorship right.
Yeah, it's plus.
Oh.
Yes.
and cash received.
And we are-
as well,
and
right?
And cash received.
Spent-
I'm on a roll,
spent is
man.
And we are proud of you.
There are several words that you did do well.
Is there any other? And we'll talk about obviously events here shortly, but since we're in budget, is there any specific budget requirements that we need to address now that somebody needs?
I just have a question. Who's keeping track of, what the sponsors get based on what they donated?
What they get? Oh, as far as the benefits or whatever.
Correct.
When you say benefits, like what are you looking at as far as what they're, because the only one that we really need to be concerned with is our primary sponsor. The other
Okay.
sponsors are basically, as long as we have put them out on the website, Facebook, and include them on our Centennial page, that's pretty much meeting most of the obligations
Okay,
of the other
that's all I wanted
sponsors.
to make sure if someone was keeping
Yeah, as far
track.
as tickets and stuff like that, really only Hoshin Honda's.
Yeah.
The
okay.
t-shirts will be, once we get them done with the sponsors on there, that's actually one step above and beyond,
Correct.
which in my opinion will satisfy any commitment that we have to any of our sponsors, because that's going one step above.
Correct, because
So,
that's not listed on the
Right, it's not even
sponsorship
listed
thing.
on there,
Correct.
and we're doing that. So to
Right.
me, that's completely fulfilling our obligation to them.
Okay,
But the only one that we'll have to monitor and make sure we continue as far as flyers, the webs, anything we put out has to have Ocean Honda on there.
entries.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
On that, so I know I saw a couple of those sponsorships. Have we? I don't think have we done them all on Facebook and the website?
Yeah, as well. I gotta add Vrina Consulting, but I have all of them on the.
Are they all listed together or
I
something?
have 15 all listed together on the Centennial page.
Okay.
If you go to Community and then you go to Centennial Celebration, as you scroll down, it says thank you to all our sponsors and has them all listed.
Did we do a kind of Facebook post for?
And then we copy that and put it on Facebook.
Okay.
So we will throughout our Centennial events, we're going to constantly be updating our sponsors and whatnot, and especially when catches is completed and now they're Brana Consulting has sponsored. The list will be refreshed, both the website and on Facebook. So
If we could make a, obviously we're doing it for the T-shirts when that final one or
Yes.
whatever, with all the logos and all that. If we could do a little graphic or something, we actually share, with the kind of sized appropriately or whatever on that, like we do the T-shirt, maybe push that out as a recurring, whether it be every couple of weeks. Again, thanks to our sponsors. Look, there they are. The logos.
like to see all their logos. Yeah. I have most of their logos that I'm trying to, make a composite type of flyer that will have just all the sponsors' logos on that one flyer. So then we can put that out as well, like put it out front and we can include it some of our other events and just have that, of all of them on there. Actually, Gulfside T-shirts found quite a bit of their logos, which they have shared with me. So
Okay, cool.
but we're working on that, of having all of their logos together on one flyer. So then we can include that at other events.
Okay, perfect.
Also, one more thing about the budget. Are we required to put a 7,000? I only heard this a little bit. Are we required to put a $7,000 deposit down for the mayor's ball?
No.
That's something we don't have to do that. We don't have to put a deposit down. Okay. All right, never mind. I retract.
Can you add Tampa Bay Watch to sponsors in kind? You should have that form, and also Whiskey River is going to be a sponsor in kind. I just haven't gotten the forms back.
Whiskey River's going to be a sponsor?
Yes, in kind. They're gonna host the captain's party and also the after party.
Okay. You got a form?
The forms
Good.
are there. I'm waiting for him to tell
Okay,
me
good.
he's ready.
And we did we get anything from Culver's? Yeah, they said they reached out.
Yeah,
Yes.
Culver's has reached out to her.
So Culver's didn't realize we had so many events, but that's Alyssa.
Yeah, the public doesn't either, actually. So, just,
But Alyssa, the girl that had contacted us to begin with, she just had a baby, so that's why she wouldn't get back
okay.
in touch with us. So Heather contacted me today out of the blue and was like, "Well, I saw this email in here," and so she's very willing to help. She didn't realize there were other events, so I sent her the list of events and let her know that just let me know what she would like to help with. And also I sent her the link to everything so she can get in touch with.
yeah, I had sent her all that, the packet and everything was in there, so I'm not sure why she.
Well, I think because it was going to Alyssa. This is Heather.
Oh, Heather, somebody
Yeah,
else.
so
Okay.
Heather. Yeah, Alyssa literally is not going to be at work for 6 weeks. So,
Oh, gotcha.
yes.
So she signed it to Heather.
says.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yep.
Alyssa mentioned about doing, I think, ice cream or something for.
Yes. So they're going to do like scoops for the runners as they come in, possibly water cups or a water station with the Culver's cups.
Okay.
They're going to do stuff for the swag bags, a spinning wheel, and there'll be like these coins. Apparently, they have coins that give stuff to kids and stuff. So
Okay.
I didn't know that, but that's very cool.
Okay.
So yes, they are on board with that event. I don't know as far as future events, but
So if we need to get a form from them, kind of laying that stuff out so we can.
I sent her the sponsorship form as well.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're going to do multiple in-kinds for the different events, whatever they want to do, we want to make sure we do at least separate forms for them, so at least we know and we can track that. So I would just let them know as soon as they can get that to us for field day. That'd be good.
Okay. Anything else on budget? Anything else on sponsors? That
Yeah, on sponsors. So John Monteleone when I was working with him on switching to a different golf course and stuff, his main concern was he had talked to somebody about the car show and golf cart parade and the food truck night. And he was very concerned that they're all three on the same day.
Yep.
I don't know who he talked to, but he's like
he
writing
talked to me.
very angry letters.
Yeah, he talked to me on that, and I think was there an email that was sent out on that? Did you get that, Ashley? I think back on the 12th.
I don't know. I've received several. So
Okay, I think Cheryl had sent an email with those dates on there because she actually met with John and them over to the dealership, and so but I think I know what they are.
But everything I asked him, it was what about this?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about events and schedules and stuff like that. So we'll jump into that in a minute. But yes,
Awesome. Thank you.
definitely cover that. Is there any other sponsors that we think are coming in that haven't came in?
McDonald's reached out today
Good,
to
fine.
discuss different levels of sponsorship. She took the information and said she was going to give it back to her, to the owner, and would be getting back to us.
Okay.
So I spoke to them this morning.
Okay. Yeah. I reached out a couple times to Jose and never heard back from him. So I'm
Yeah, they
glad
called
to
this
see.
morning.
Good. I'm glad to hear.
When I went to the bowling alley to check on things, they had a big, the people were bowling, so I asked them if I could, talk to them, and so they said yes. And so actually, it was the property appraiser, all the property appraisers.
right.
Yeah, so Mike Wells was there, and so I remember him from my dad. So I went over and talked to him. I gave him a flyer, and he said he had worked here at one time, Mike Wells. And so I said I have to get back with them though, because I said yeah, we're looking for a sponsor. So hopefully maybe they'll get something. They,
Yeah, I don't
they
know.
have they have their property appraiser from Dade City.
I don't think they can sponsor
Richie.
stuff there since they're a government entity, unless they're different.
Unless they do it individually.
Well, individually they could also.
And if they're all bowlers, I mean, they're all bowling, maybe they would bowl. So I'm going to get back with them
Yeah.
on that. I went to Urban Air, and I went to across the street where the what is it, the mobile home places, and I put a flyer there across from here on the corner. I talked to the gun range. I just called them. Now the gun range.
Yeah.
firing.
Do you any commitments that they're going? Because also we're going
Not
to
yet.
finalize these sponsor lists for the shirts and that, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. If we know somebody says they're definitely going to do something, we need to know that. Otherwise, they won't be on the shirt.
I just followed up on them, and they don't say. I have the packets with me when they're ready.
Yeah.
I got the packets.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Well, we're going to have to.
I'm thinking if we want to start having these shirts at the other events, we're probably gonna have to do a cutoff. And at the very least, if we do get more sponsors, we can consider another T-shirt run and adding them. And at the very least, we'll promote them through our website and Facebook. But because we're at 16 now, Whiskey Joe's will make 17, and and then these other potential McDonald's, Culver's. We're getting up into into the 20s. As far as our sponsors. So, which I want to talk about later on with our T-shirts.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I think you should just cut it off and go print them because we need to get them out. And there's nothing on the sponsorship packet that says that they're going to be on T-shirts. So anyone who comes later is, oh well, sorry.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if we get firm commitments, get them fill out a form. I told the people I talked to, I said, hey, if you want to be on a shirt, we're finalizing that. So I need to know one way or another. And so,
I didn't say that. That's a good idea.
yeah, that might push them to go ahead and pull the trigger. Okay.
before we move on, I wanted to thank the Pasco Historical Society for all their help on Saturday, and especially Tomas Larzon for being our tour guide. He did an excellent job. Everyone appreciated. He even ad-libbed some of the tour information that we had. So, and he even added more information that we provided him. So, which was really good. So, and quite a few of those members were in and out throughout the afternoon. So it was nice seeing them and their input, and also Mr. Mallet and his family for all the work he did,
A lot of stuff.
and all the contributions that they did. We greatly appreciate it. So I just wanted to get that out before we.
Did we get him back all that stuff? I guess he
He came. Yeah, he came.
Okay.
He came yesterday.
and then all the our stuff that we had went back in the vault.
Our stuff is separate. The time capsule stuff is separated from everything else, and everything else is put away.
Okay.
So.
Thanks. Okay. If there's anything else, I'll move on to.
Is that a big thank you letter to them?
Yeah, we could probably do a thank you letter for
Absolutely.
Mounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because that was a big part of that display. Almost kind of an in-kind sponsorship, although there wasn't much value to it. But putting his stuff out there.
Yeah, his input was also very helpful.
Yeah, sure.
Especially with the tour and the information that he brought with us.
Yeah.
So it was very good.
Yeah, if we get him, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great idea. Okay, so anything else? We'll move on. Item number 2, discussion update on field day, chili cook-off 5K race. That's you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So for the field days, got the flyer that was sent out to everyone, and so I think there was. I don't think I printed it. It got sent to everybody's email.
I can pull it up if you want.
There was questions about the chili, and I don't even know how to address that.
Yeah, well, so why don't we have that discussion now? And actually, this is probably a good time to go ahead and have a general event discussion as a result of this too, before we dig deep into these, because we kind of need to make our mind up on path forward. Also, we haven't got the engagement that we had hoped, and we're kind of behind the 8 ball on getting some of the stuff out as far as payment methods and whatnot. So what is the general consensus of the group about? Do we still full steam ahead on what we've laid out? Obviously, we're going to have to look at some scheduling. Hopefully this will be the last time if we did that to set those things in stone. I know there's a couple things we need to move around.
Well, yeah.
And then the other aspect of it, or do we look at scaling back and focus more on the end game?
It's
Scale back.
Scale back.
I'm on the page of scaling back. We're confusing everybody. We keep changing the event dates. Every time that happens, we have to change every spot that we've posted this event list to.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just one central location. Every time that we share an event, we share it to different chat pages. Obviously in the digital world, everything is copied over and over, and we have to track those down and change that at that spot.
Mm. Because
if not, then people are conflicting with dates and times, and is it this date, is it that date? We've already received phone calls about it. So I'm for one about scaling back, and we can focus more on our key events and looking to make them bigger, better. What we got to do with some of them. I'm for that, and it's almost like when we discussed about the T-shirt. Before I wanted the event list on there. Now I'm to the point of just taking it off and just keeping it as sponsored, because at least I know that those names are solid and the sponsors are solid. With the events, it just keeps fluctuating, and it's no one's fault. I mean, I don't know if it's like we're not getting as much participation from the city as we were hoping for. Mm-hmm. That it's time for us to just start reevaluating. What does the city want? What do they want to do? So I really think we need to look into that as a whole. And
a big part of the city participation is seen in the volunteers that are not coming out to help these communities. I think at the beginning we thought, we assign each of us different events, and then we'd have members of the community stepping up to do that, and we've had very little engagement. So
the day after that, we talked about sending an email. Vice Chair Gonzalez asked about sending it to every single council member and committee member. I did that. It went out to every single one of them. Mm-hmm. I've not heard from nobody. So I think Lori Simpson is actually coordinating with them on Mayor's Ball, but that's the only person I've heard from. And besides, and your wife and Councilman Hubbard's obviously with the trying to promote the boat tours. Right. But outside of that, I know Councilman Mueller has said that he's wanted to help, but we haven't really put him on. I think it's going to be the fishing tournament that he might be on that, but that hasn't been locked in yet. But of course, what have I mentioned? Council members, besides that, and one committee member. Besides that, we haven't heard from them. No citizens have reached out for volunteering. I mean, besides for Mr. Mallett and the contributions from the Pasco Historical Society, it's we're not getting a bunch of forms back. We're not getting people emailing us on. We've had the admin at City of Port Richey open. We check it every day. Nothing. It's just we're not getting any feedback.
Yep.
Even sharing the Facebook. Like I've been sharing it to the groups, but not. I mean, that's where it dies. Like
right.
I sent another email for the Business Expo to all the businesses within the city. I used the same email list that I used for the sponsorship. You know, I don't. Vice Chair Gonzalez hasn't gotten back about anyone like, you know, saying, oh, we got a big hit on that.
Mhm.
Nothing. So, this is something we really need to look at, and you know, I'm kind of concerned about some of our, our bigger paying events like the golf scramble, the mayor's ball. Are our citizens and people, and businesses going to be willing to put out the money to come to these events? I'll be honest with you, the first two were free, and I didn't have I was
Right.
kind of expecting a bigger return. I mean, the first bus was 24 people, but then after that, I had 3, 4, and 8. For the afternoon.
Right.
For a free event, we had snacks here, we had everything laid out. It was, we had the two buses here. For the one for the ADA and then one for everyone else, and no one came. So it's just. We were here. Yeah, thank you. He was here. And Jan. But so I think we need to talk about
Yeah.
that as a whole. But
Okay.
we could start with this event here. Sorry.
Wait, so let's keep this conversation going about the scaling back. What you guys thought? Scale back? Are you on board with that as well, or?
I still am pushing that. I think we need more listening. We could certainly scale back maybe 1 or 2 events a month, or 1 event a month, or something like that. But I think that just skipping the whole 100 days and do nothing in between.
Well, I don't think it's.
No. I'm just.
You didn't say
I
that.
know. I'm just. I know you didn't say that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. Obviously,
There are some things that
we've already
should
kicked
do.
it off. We're in the 100 days, so we're going
Right.
to have
We
within
should have
there.
some events.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're.
We should have.
You guys thoughts?
Well, I mean, I had the opening.
Let's.
Okay. Bowling and the History and Heritage Day was even on the Joy FM the family calendar, and I mean that's accessible to everybody, and still it was the same group of people that showed up to the opening day. So.
And let me specifically talk about bowling tournament, because obviously we have to be involved in that. I've got three teams signed up. One is a team I bowl with, and the other is I think your relatives.
I'm
And
trying
then-
to sign up,
And
so
then Sal, we're trying
include
to
mine
sign up
because I'm.
Sal's team today,
Yeah,
too.
we're trying.
Yeah, and so I know you guys are going to bowl, so that's
That's gonna be
4. And I had Dan Utter on my league reach out to me, who said he's going to give me the form on Wednesday. So that's 5. So I've got 5 teams. It's been all the bowling alleys. We've made announcements. We make announcements every league. And the only thing that I don't know is, are they going to show up on Saturday, which is kind of how tournaments happen. But, we put it out there. It's easy. You put a link on it and sign. Nobody's doing that. So we don't know. And I've personally shared it on all the Facebook sites, including all the bowling tournament sites. So I've really pushed that one. I mean, it's not been on the radio, but nobody listens to radio for bowling tournaments.
So with that, let's say this Saturday, 8 teams show up. You figure the 4 or 5 right now, and then 3 more. Can we? What is the minimum that we can do a tournament with?
Well, I mean, you can do a tournament with 1. You just give them their money back, right? I mean,
That makes sense, right?
it's so yeah, you can have a tournament with 5, pay the top 3, and then 2 people donate to it. So I mean, you can do that. I would hope that we'd have more. And just as an aside, I don't know if you guys are aware. So the attorney was asked to look into that in regards to the side pots, and basically there's side tournaments that run in tandem with the actual tournament, sweeper events and whatnot, where when a team comes in, they can also get in these tournaments that happen at the same time, these singles tournaments, if you will, and it's totally optional. Again, they run it to Bowling Open. I mean, it's a legal thing that happens. However, the attorney looked into it and is advising not to have those, only have the main tournament, because in statute it basically exempts that, but it doesn't actually get into all these other things, and there's no case law to kind of show that. And so the problem we have is we could take that advice and ignore it, probably be fine until we aren't. And then what it comes back to is well, the city has a city attorney opine that we shouldn't do that. And so that's in and of itself, if you're not listening to your attorney, why you have an attorney? And so you almost put yourself in a bad position. Now, if she would have came back and said it'd been okay, based on what she said, then I think we'd be okay. So we're gonna have to remove all that stuff,
Which hurts your tournament.
which a lot of the people that bowl, that's what they like to do. So,
Right.
But I haven't even announced that, so that's not even in play yet. So, so we're going to take that stuff out and just if we have the tournament. So I'm ready to talk about possibly pulling the plug on that tonight too. So anyway, just to give you, I just wanted to speak to the. It's not for lack of advertisement; it's lack of engagement. And I mean, again, we could send mailers out to people's homes and all that. I don't think it's going to, there's not going to be any magic bullet that says, "Oh, hey, let me sign up for that." So I think we've not done a fantastic job, but on certain ones, I mean, I'd like to say on a bowling tournament, I've done pretty good about getting that word out, and I'm really shocked that there haven't been a lot of sign-ups because.
So when I go like on the evening to go to the bowling alleys, like this only on this one on Ridge Road, you say you're taking care of the one on before. I go there, and a lot of them said, "So you think they're just going to show up and they're not signing up?" Or some people were pretty interested.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we may get there and all 20 lanes be going, and I think we probably got enough that we can have the tournament. Like I say, I've got 5 committed, and like I say, I may even have more on Wednesday because it's the Wednesday before, and they don't me and Joe Bowen that, so they may turn their forms in. And I on the phone with Dan, I said, "You can go online and do this." He goes, "I'll just give you the form on Wednesday."
So I wanted to ask you something about the bowling since we're on the bowling, because we ordered the medals already. I don't know if you like the medals, and they're coming to the city, and then we're going to put the logo on the back of it, and then it has like a blue lanyard, so like everybody's going to get something.
Sure.
I thought that would be nice to everybody.
You've already ordered them?
Yeah, and they're gonna. That was the $80-something, what Adam was talking about.
80?
Yeah, they're only $1.
Oh, really?
We ordered 60. So.
Well, that'd be more than enough. Is it something we can use? Is it got bowling pins or something on it?
Yes. Yes.
But you could come over and do it on Pascon. So I don't know. But,
You sell prizes. Everybody wants one.
Yeah.
So, I think I like that as a novelty idea for anyone that's going to contribute. They can take something home. I personally, on the advice of the city attorney, if she's going to give us any advice to stay away from something, I think that's a good idea. I know she's only looking out for the city council committees and everyone else in it. So this is my first tournament. I've just done leagues, so this is like a first for me as far as a tournament. Normally during league, we just do the bowling. I've never contributed to anything like that, only because we don't know how. I mean, it's for as many years as we bowled, we don't do any of the 50-50 or anything like that. We pay our dues and we bowl. I'm fine with that, not having the side pots.
Well, I'm telling you, the people that are in there
Now I'm sure you've got
Don't care.
leaguers that have been doing it for a long.
well, they aren't signed up. That's why. So.
They're
To
not-
your point,
Yeah.
the people that are signed up that I know signing up some of them don't even bowl. They're just
Right.
don't have averages or
But
whatever.
the ones that do bowl and do this all the time, they haven't signed
Yeah.
up because I'm
So-
sure you've talked to them
Yeah.
about.
And it's been
this.
advertised out there, but it's like I said, it's
But we may have 30 teams come Saturday, right?
Well, like today when I tried to register Sal's team, it said that it wouldn't let me go past actually just putting his contact information in. So
Yeah,
it didn't let me get to the
I need to look at that.
page yet.
hopefully there's not. I mean, I haven't had an issue with it, but we'll try it after the meeting, make sure something's not right, not wrong.
So
Well,
Do you
I
have
think
5 plus Sal's team or is
no, I have 5 with Sal's team,
okay, 5 with Sal's.
and there's one more guy that said he was trying to put a team together, but I haven't heard back from him. So,
And I know my brother registered too.
I would hate to cancel it only because
well, there's no cost to the city.
Right.
So I'm okay with moving forward on that one because it's Saturday and, we'll have some teams show up. We got enough, even if we just have the 5, we'll have enough to.
I mean,
Well-
you and her have put a lot of work into I've printed hundreds of flyers
Yeah.
that you guys have handed out, and she's gone door to door. You've gone to, all the different leagues. And we've promoted it, we pushed it. I would hate to dismiss it. All the work
No,
you guys.
I'm actually curious to see how many show up. Like I said, we've got enough now. We can
Even on
make it.
Saturday, people were taking the bowling tournament flyers because Tomas was pushing it on
Yeah,
every
I
tour.
mean,
So they
yeah,
came back in
that's-
and said, "Where are those flyers?"
So
and they came and got them.
I was pushing it. Yeah.
And
I'd like to see if it turns out. I mean,
Yeah.
Let's get rid of the golf cart parade.
so I wanted to ask you,
But that was the
just
one thing you
random.
Well, here, so before we go any more deep, like I want to get this other side. So scaling back, you guys all on board with that as well?
To a point, yes. Yeah.
Okay, and we can figure out what the point is, but
Yep.
I just want to make sure we're having the right conversations. So,
Yes.
Sharon,
That
what
was
do
the right conversation.
Couple points.
Okay.
This side of the county is still feeling the impact of the storms.
Mhm.
I was amazed because I had an opportunity to have 3 events on the east side. The difference in the engagement, the number of people that showed up, the amount of money that they spent, the way that they spent the money, I mean, very freely, not very purposefully, really showed that this side of the county is still in a destruction recovery stage versus that side of the county not being. This is a city of 3,000 people. We have to have outside engagement to make this event list work. In order to have outside engagement, I have another event on March 9th that I've had out there for now 4 months of promotion. That we need at least 6 weeks of promotion to get this outside engagement that we need to in order to have these events populated. With the concern, I'll bring up the concern of the sponsors. Sitting down with John from Ocean Honda, he is very engaged with Newport Richey and some of their events. Matter of fact, he had me meet with Main Street girls that put on events there. They looked at this and said, "This is too much." They said it very kindly, but there's a great concern that we don't want to have lackluster events for these sponsors that are putting up. Having 4 fabulous events that really come off well for our quaint city is much better than having 100 days worth of events that lackluster and we don't have enough 5K runners or people to show up for field day or craft and flea fest vendors and people with talent and all that. So we're just starting to get traffic on our sponsors and things like that. Maybe we go ahead with the bowling tournament. I can see some good structure and basis for that, but take maybe March, consolidate it into April, May a little bit, and take March to allow the sponsors to settle in, get our footing underneath us, and then have 6 weeks worth of promotion that can go on. Get all of the event flyers up and posted so they can be circulated and boosted and have all that go out with a solid 6 weeks of promotion to get Newport Richey, Hudson, our surrounding people interested in what we're doing. That's my
Well, I have to agree on some of those points. People, some of the conversation on Saturday, the people that were coming in, and the celebration of life that that we went to. Some people were like literally moving it back into their houses. I mean,
Like that day.
they just
We're
Most
still in the process.
you know,
Most of my neighborhood
Nancy,
is not home.
Nancy Britton, Jim Matthew, literally just that day we're finishing moving. So that's constantly going on in the city right now. So I definitely agree with how people are spending their money on this side of Pasco County as opposed to the other side of Pasco County.
and their time.
Huh?
And their time. They don't have the free time.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're
Yeah.
working 10 hours on your house and
Mhm.
it's hot and you're trying to do the
They're
work, the last
exhausted.
thing you're going to do is go out. I mean, you'd be lucky to grab yourself a pizza just to eat dinner that night because
Mhm.
you've worked all day. We've all done it. I mean, there's been days where you're trying to get house stuff done and there's no time to do anything else. So these people are doing it every day, just trying to get back into their homes. So I agree with that. It's the nature of the beast. We had 2 bad storms. We are trying to plan this between, February and May 18th. I mean, it's no one's fault. It's just nature. It's just the way what happened. And we're actually trying to turn things around and bring something positive in the city. But unfortunately, even as much as our collective thought here and the input that we're trying to do, the problem is that, the city's not ready for it. It's just not. It's just like, if we push whatever we're going to push out or take some out and concentrate towards the end of, April and May, I think we'll have a better turnout, because by that time, not only will we have enough time to get the sponsors in line, get more vendors in line, get push it out. We can talk more about how to media blast stuff and get it out there. I'm open to suggestions, because I don't think postcards are going to work. I don't think that sending a postcard in a mass mailer is going to work, because it's going to come in that mail that we all get once a week, that comes with the coupons from the fast food restaurants and a couple of flyers. That postcard is going to be in the middle of all that, and 8 or 9 out of 10 people are going to take it and just drop it in the trash or in a recycling bin, because that's what I do. I just take it and put it in a recycling bin. Because there's nothing in there I look for. So that mailer that it's going to cost us about $2,000 to do, even if we put that out right now. What are you going to get out of it? I think I was talking to the city manager today about doing our public access channel, which is still available on Spectrum. But how many people actually watch cable anymore, as compared to who's just streaming certain sites? So you could probably count maybe 2 out of 10 that are watching, like, actual paying for cable. So it's
Very hard.
it's very hard and very difficult. But I definitely like I said, I agree with what she's saying. I think we should focus more into pushing, taking some out and focusing on key events, that are later in the season, and focus on some of them.
Okay, let's do this. Let's take a moment to go through the calendar and the events and see what we can come up with here. I mean, I can see some opportunities to roll stuff together. And just for example, we could take the golf cart parade, not have a separate golf cart parade, but
Do a golf cart
slash
section in the
yeah,
regular parade.
in the main parade, and have the parade obviously, but and just focus on that.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
The kickoff
kinda
parade, the
Like
kickoff
the
parade, you
kickoff
mean,
parade
with
being
the golf carts?
With golf carts.
Yeah.
So basically include golf carts.
Yeah,
and
they'd be part of the parade.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
Absolutely.
I
We
think
do that as a specific section, just like you would do bands and all
Right.
that.
yeah, so that's something we can definitely do, and we need to split that out anyway from that the other stuff. The next thing I want to talk about is the Centennial Business Expo. We've already said to push that. It shows on the 26th here on the calendar, but it's been pushed to
To the 30th.
the 30th.
I got to change that. I changed it on the event list. I got to change it on the calendar, which
We've got 2 people, right?
well, it's
So is
Would
that
they
Ocean
be-
included in the 2? Because
Well,
Ocean
they probably
gets a
would be
free
there, I
table.
bet.
Ocean,
Yeah.
so that'd be 3. But once again, we still have time. I mean, it's Vesh is donating the building, so it's not like it's anything out of pocket for that. So to me, I think that since we've pushed it and it's not till April, I think we can give that time and keep it.
April 30th is the correct event.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'll be fine. That'll be fine. If we can get that flyer is out, it's posted, that can be generated.
Yeah.
Well, so I've often wondered though about this particular event, if it was going to be a success if we had it in December. I mean, I guess the point is that businesses would get a booth there at Vesh, the public would come out and look at their different businesses or whatever. Is that something that's
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
doable?
we just had the home show at the
Rec Center.
Yeah.
I was at the rec center.
the rec center. You'll get businesses out for this.
Okay.
This is what's a matter of promotion, and quite honestly, that general time is when there used to be a business expo over at the Farrell property.
Yeah.
So we're right in line with that.
Well, I know we push it out, and maybe that is viable on its own, but that was something I thought, well, maybe we could merge that with the
I'd leave
other
that on its own.
books that do it on them. Okay.
Yeah, leave it on its own.
Okay, so that's on the 30th, so everybody's in agreement to kind of keep that, and I guess as it gets closer, we can always pull the plug on that if it doesn't.
And you have several businesses that have put up sponsorships. So, you can take those businesses and.
Well, all of our business sponsors
Yeah.
should probably try to be there.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's just a matter of getting them the information and encourage them for participation.
Mr. Chairman, can you just start at the first event in March and just work our way down and
Well,
say
well-
yay or nay?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was looking at the calendar in February, and it was still in February, so that's why I jumped in. But, so I'm moving to March now. The bowling tournament, so I think we're all in agreement. Let's go ahead and do the bowling tournament and see how that goes. I think we got enough to do it, and hopefully it'll turn out a lot better than it's looking. Okay, moving on to March.
I'm going to change the expo right now. So,
Okay. Well, you can do that on the fly. Cool.
yes.
So on the 8th, we've got the Centennial Field Day cook-off, and also you've got stuff to
Right.
talk about theirs.
Well,
Let's
but-
jump into that one.
Okay, so for the field day, would take a lot of city resources because you're going to have fire, EMS, all that on site. Plus, there's still the food trucks. They got to do their sign-ups and stuff as far as making sure everything's safe. I mean, everything else will fall into place, but I don't know how we would get enough runners to make it worthwhile. I mean, I might be able to get 20.
Yeah.
If I really, really go out there and push it hard around the.
Well, and I wonder,
So that's
rather
what I
than
was
have,
thinking. There's not enough. Like, I have not purchased anything for this event.
Right.
And it would take a lot of city resources. So it'd be a good one to mark off.
well, is this something we could, again, scale it way back?
To a
Maybe-
5K
Well, maybe even,
later on.
well, I was thinking more of
No, paper
the
stuff.
fun stuff that we were talking about, having a dunk tank or whatever, because that's something you can integrate with other events. The tug of war, if we decide to do that still or whatever.
So-
Can that
Suggestion.
be just combined with the Centennial Day stuff?
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Or the children's event?
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
you know,
So
I just think we should scratch the 5K altogether. That's just my personal opinion. I just think it takes too much resources. It's too much of a liability. I mean, when we had Boom on the Bayou, people were coming to the park when we were setting up and complaining about people before they even got there.
Yeah.
So people running through the neighborhood, I just feel like it's going to cause just
no, it's if that's what we want to do, it's fine. I do want to say though, on all this stuff in general, you had a lot of concerns about some of the chili
Yes.
cook-off and is it prepared in the place. So, all good points, obviously, and I had a chuckle when I read it, only because, it. And sometimes, again, bowling tournament, turning, same thing. If you look at anything that the city does, or anybody for that matter, there's liability involved, right? Just if we just had fireworks, a firework get loose, hit somebody in the head or whatever, we're getting sued. So there's if you constantly look at what could happen, the only real answer you would have is never do anything, because you would not want to open yourself up to risk. So that being said, we don't want to overly open ourselves up for risk either. At chili cook-off, I've been to several chili cook-offs, and they're prepared in the home in a crock pot. They bring them out, and it's the infrastructure there, keep them warm or whatever. I've never gotten sick, but it don't mean somebody could have some bad meat in there and make everybody sick, and then everybody wants to sue the city because we put on chili cook-off. So I mean, I get the concern.
I mean, it just goes like someone ordering a coffee from McDonald's and it spills on them, and they sue them,
Right.
they sue them for $1 million because the coffee was too hot.
Right.
I mean,
They could trip going up to get their bowl of chili, and
so it's just that when you do something private, like if someone was doing, like you said, you've been to plenty of chili cook-offs, but those once again were on the private side. It was some company or something like that.
Yeah.
When you're doing something as a municipality, now you're putting the municipality's name out there, and unfortunately, we have to be concerned about the city's liability.
Right.
So,
But because we're seeing as obviously we have bigger pockets than your general.
Right.
So I get that.
so, and the thing is like when she was making those points, you
It
know,
wasn't
it's-
to be negative.
if-
It was just like, this is a liability. I mean, and I just want to protect the city. That's
Sure.
all.
If we had 8 vendors there, like eight food trucks, and they made the chili, that's different because each of those food trucks have to have health department, health inspections, health code, and they have to meet all that. So them preparing it, it's under their basic blanket of liability. If they've done something wrong, it's going to be on that vendor. Who do you point the blame at when you're inviting everyone, the general public, to just come? You blame the entity that invited them.
Well, I guess I was under the assumption, obviously, that the city has insurance that would handle that type of thing. But, you know, in the spirit of we need to scale back anyway, you know, let's take that easy stuff off. We don't need chili cook-off. I mean, it was a neat idea, but, you know, is it really worth it? Is it, let's not open ourselves up to that.
Well, the whole thing is that, and
I mean, somebody could
just
spoil a bag of chips so their night could
Right.
open that up
The
in
run,
that same
right,
issue, right?
right.
But at least it's a packaged. But
do we want to do anything in March now? Because if we're looking to get 6 weeks of additional time,
well, I think that definitely the first half of March we need to clear.
But as far as like doing the field day and 5K or later,
So I fully think we need to incorporate some of those things. What some of those things are, you know.
I mean, I know that like you had talked to the other mayor, but
And I told them to put that on their calendar, the 8th or whatever. But that's not a big deal.
okay. So just I wasn't sure. I mean, how much he was.
Yeah, no, and to be completely
we want to
honest,
be good neighbors. That's
I at the MAP meeting a couple weeks ago, I'd mentioned it to Debbie, kind of made a joke about it or whatever, and you know, I'm not even so sure that it really is on their calendar. I mean, I told them, but you know,
Okay.
Again, is it really happening? We don't even know, right? So that we can adjust that. So I think if we can incorporate some of those fun events that we were thinking about, whether it be dunk tank or whatever, into the vendor fair, if we have that Flea Fest at a later date, that just helps that event have more stuff going on.
I'd like
What
to
about the
see.
children's events in May?
I'd
But we'll
like
get
to.
to those. How's that?
I'd like to see the Centennial event
No, do
push
those
to
things.
May 17th. Incorporate the children's element of it. Been out to the market and see how many dogs there are. That's easy to do the mutt strut with
Yeah.
that.
We have
You
a
know,
lot of stuff
we
going
could
on
have
that day, and we really need to that weekend anyway. So
So I'd like to see that push to Saturday, May 17th.
Which
I
one?
was just saying, move those things to the children's event day.
oh, yeah, let's try to get. I thought you were talking about another
So
event.
Flea,
Yeah,
Flea Fest
same time.
for children's event?
So the
Which-
Craft Vendor Fair Flea Fest still have it.
So
But-
essentially, it's a Centennial Festival, which includes craft vendors, the flea element for the citizens, the children's event, and the mutt strut. And if you want to have a dunk tank out there and tug of war and all that kind of stuff, you can do that too.
So you're saying the May 17th,
Yeah.
right? Which is a Saturday.
Yeah.
So you're talking about make that the fireworks day?
Well, no, the 18th is still fireworks day.
18th is fireworks.
That's Sunday.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was. All right.
So that whole weekend, we had stuff planned anyway. But the only thing we had Saturday is children's events and mutt strut. If we just throw all that,
And that's lackluster. If we put all that together, then it's a 3-ring circus.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
and we really want to have a lot going on that weekend anyway, and we can focus on that marketing to.
And I think people have money. And I think that on the flea element where the residents can come out, they'll at least be a little bit more organized that they can decide to sell some stuff.
The only thing with that, and I'm not being negative, is it's just going to be a lot for probably trying to get broken down and then set up again for the next day. That's the only thing. So
I don't worry about that being broken down and set up.
They get out of
Absolutely
there
not.
quick. Those tents
Okay.
and stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah.
but what I mean is the parks, the public works and parks. I mean, is that
Well,
going to give them enough time? That's what I'm saying. Like, if it goes till 5 o'clock, how much time is that going to give? And I don't know how long. I'm just saying.
2 o'clock, and we're out of there by 4.
So is that gonna give them enough time from 4 to dark
Well,
to clean up?
They planned on being there anyway, so I mean, we're just talking about adding more events to that particular day. So
But then they have to come back for the next day is what I'm saying.
I mean,
Okay.
and that's the thing is that, you know, if we're prepared to do that, but I don't want this to just be a shuffling thing where we're just packing on stuff to each of the other days. I think that some things are going to have to be, dismissed. So,
I think like with the children's event, like a field day would just be like a part of the children's event because that's something the kids are they're gonna want to do, like the limbo and the thing, roll, whatever. I think that's not really so much squishing too much in there, or even the tug of war. I mean, that's kind of a children's event.
Well, yeah,
Not
and,
even the dunk tank.
and the children's events doesn't have to go all day. Children's events. We can have a couple of children's events at that thing.
Yeah,
We can make it more of a family festival than
we've had lots of markets where they've had a full kids zone and, had that going on simultaneously. So,
Yep.
And we have a volunteer company for that. So literally, they can put you guys up there with a tug of war that's a bouncy house.
Yeah, well, it's more like just crossing this off and just adding a couple events within that event.
But that's
I mean,
not thinning it out. That's just moving them.
Well, it is thinning it out because it's not a standalone event, so it's a much smaller thing. We
Well,
talk
that
about
removes
children's events. Maybe it's just one or two things at that event, as opposed to all day of children's events. So it's scaling it back, and it's including it in another event to enhance that event.
Yeah, it's an element of rather than a standalone. I mean, literally, we've done a butterfly display at one of these and broken that down in the same amount of time with thousands of butterflies and plants and all that.
Do you have a comment? Oh. Y'all make fun of us? What's going on? Oh, okay.
So let's get back to March. I think we really need to decide. We've got 3 events in March. What's moving and what's being taken out. That way we know where we stand. So
Did you clear
March
March?
8th. So March 8th, we've got the field day and the chili cook-off and the 5K race for Saturday, March 8th. That's when we're obviously not doing it on March 8th now. And we're going to try and move some of that to,
Yeah, 8th and 9th is gone. It's
Right.
going to be, I think
my consensus.
those two are going to be combined together and moved into the.
Right. But my consensus on that is we're getting rid of the chili cook-off and the 5K and just moving some, not all, of the field day events to the children's event. Is that what we're all thinking?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
so no 5K race, not
Everybody
just field day.
Well, I mean, just so we can mark one off.
I wouldn't even call it field day. Let's
No,
just
I mean, we'll just add some field day events to the
let's
children's
just
event.
put this
We're not
is
gonna call it.
whatever that event is on that Saturday. We'll take
It's
Centennial Festival. Yeah,
That's
whatever.
it.
Great.
Don't break it down any further than
Yeah,
that.
and we'll, we just need to get people there, and then we'll have the events kind of lined up, and we'll have some time to actually do that. But we'll take the good pieces of whatever it was you put together,
Okay.
and put it in that thing.
All right.
Do you have concern over here about that? Other than, I mean, do you like the idea of that? I mean, it's not. We're not taking the whole event and trying to cram it all in. We're just taking a couple key pieces of it to enhance that other.
Basically, we're taking the field day games and putting them in a little
Yeah.
smaller spot at this one, just to keep the children happy.
Okay, so
Yeah, so
we can
I'm
we can
just
hammer
thinking
out the
this.
particulars
I'm
later
Right,
on.
exactly. Well,
So the wine stroll and the taste of Port Richie, let that. I mean, don't even really have any restaurants other than
Yeah,
Whiskey Joe's.
we-
I mean, we should scratch that completely
I
at this point.
think that's a good idea. Get rid of that one.
what?
The Taste of Port Richie Pub Crawl Wine Stroll.
Agreed.
March is clear.
So we're not doing anything for March.
Well,
We're reorganizing.
It's going to the 17th.
17th is part, it's gonna be called Centennial Festival. It's gonna be field day, craft fair, flea market,
we could look at
children's event, restaurant.
whatever we have in April, maybe moving something up to March, but I don't know what we have.
6 weeks.
Now, this-
Hold 6
Call-
weeks.
Well, you want nothing in March at all?
Yeah.
Clear March at all?
Organize in March and promote. That's what we're doing in March is promoting.
And we just get these flyers out and we start taking them around everywhere and
Get it up on social
emailing them
media.
as much as you
Yep.
possibly can. And every church, within 20 miles. Every school should be going out to every single high school, middle school, elementary school.
Who's gonna do that?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But we can take some of the time we were using to plan some of these events, and maybe that list that Sal was talking about, maybe we can split up and say, hey, can you call schools? Hey, can you do
I mean, it's
trailer parks? Hey, can you do?
If we can get together all the flyers for all the new dates, get them up on Facebook, get them up on the event sites and all that, you will get people.
Okay, so if we're clearing March,
And then write all events in, eventee.
okay. So we cleared March. Now we're in April. First thing up in April is Port Richey's Got Talent.
Leave that off.
Get rid of that.
Go for the food truck
Is-
on,
is everyone good with that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's got a consensus on
Yep.
everything before we move forward.
I didn't know we were doing it. I'm just kidding. I'm good with it.
food truck on the 12th and
Now
the
this.
car show on the 13th.
Now that we're so, this obviously is something that our
Honda.
Honda wants to do, but split it up. And what he was suggesting is do the car show on Saturday. He's doing it at the dealership.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
Okay.
With the food trucks? Does he want
Food trucks he wants to do on the
Separate.
13th at the dealership.
So
Oh, 13.
Saturday, Sunday,
So
Saturday, Sunday.
but then we're moving the golf cart parade to
To
the
and the golf cart
kickoff
parade being
parade.
combined with the other
Yep,
program.
Yep, okay.
It's part of the parade.
I'm trying to keep notes because I'm gonna have to drastically change this
Yeah.
when I post it. So golf cart parade is going with the kickoff. And I'm not. We don't have to call it that, but I'm just.
Yeah, just call it kickoff
Right.
parade.
It'll be kickoff parade, but I'm just making a note here. So that's
And on the interform, you can put
and then
golf cart where you're going
Sunday,
to float.
and then Sunday, April 13th is going to be the food truck night.
Food truck night.
Okay, so
And he's wanting to have the dealership too, right?
So the
Making
12th
arrangements
is the
with-
car show at Ocean, and then the 13th is the food truck at Ocean.
Yeah.
Okay.
so food truck night would be Sunday, April 13th. Okay.
And you scratch the support, you got talent, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So the only thing we're doing on the 12th is the car show. Okay.
Correct.
All right. I'm good.
Okay.
I mean,
Yep.
is everyone else okay with this?
Yep.
Any issues? If not, we'll move on down the calendar. We've got the golf scramble. Now I know that you guys have been doing some work on the golf
All right, the
scramble.
golf scramble is actually pretty well set. All we have to do now is to get the players, and I think we have plenty of time if we really promote it.
You feel good about that, Cheryl?
Okay, so the golf scramble is
Guys, side conversations.
We're not.
I can hear you. So
so the golf scramble is $44.95 per golfer. And that includes them setting up for doing the longest putt, the closest to the pin. They're cool with Honda bringing in 2 to 4 cars, and doing the whole.
and this is which course?
This is at Seven Springs.
So, okay.
So, and then the food is with the gratuity and taxes included. It's approximately $25 to $26.50, depending on which thing we choose per person. So it's about $280 per foursome
Cover costs.
to cover costs. And then, so I was suggesting.
Well, so there is no statutory exemption for golf tournaments, correct? So
Statutory.
the way that you can't just charge an extra $100 and divvy it up. That's gambling. And so you could have an entry fee, and a sponsor can provide prizes. So, like if let's use Osahana for example, and obviously them doing the car thing, all that's okay, right? You just can't take money from your team entry fee and redistribute it. You can have an entry fee, and then you can have the city could put up the prizes. First place, $1,000. Second place, $500. And if the city or Honda or anybody Ryan if he wanted to sponsor it or whatever. If they're doing the prizes, then it's okay. That's your understanding too, man. Is that correct? How that works?
Well, I think the way that
As long as somebody puts up the prizes, and it's not part of the entry fee, it's okay.
that's not how I remember that. What I thought the statute said is as long as the only reason for the entry fee is to generate prizes. So if you have $100 entry fee, and so part of that's going to be for greens fees, part of it's going to be food. You know, there may be another reason for it, whatever. So it can't be all of the money can't be just going for prizes. So a portion could go for prizes.
Well, see, I didn't think in that the way I read it, I didn't think that was even the case. No part of the entry fee can actually be redistributed. Now you can, as long as it's let me pull up the statute real quick.
That's
Just
a
to let
problem because that's just how the fishing tournament works.
Fishing tournament, same issue. You
That's
can't
what I'm
have-
saying. I know, and that's
The only
that's
exemption
a major
in bowling
problem then
in
because
Florida
that's how they
statute.
do it.
We skipped, speaking of fishing tournament, we skipped
I
over
know.
it when
Yeah,
we
we'll
took the
come
Oh,
back
cost.
I
to
forgot
it.
about it.
We'll
So,
come back to it.
I just
Well-
want to go back to it while he's looking up the statute. Are you comfortable with having both the fishing tournament and regatta, or do you
Okay,
want to?
so I've said this from day one. These are two different events. They are not the same thing. They are not related. Cheryl was supposed to do the regatta and I was supposed to do the fishing tournament. They are not related at all. First of all. Second of all,
You're ready though.
if she still wants to do the regatta, that's fine. I'm okay to do the fishing tournament, but I'm not mixing it in with the regatta.
Okay.
The other thing, I want to make that really, really clear, because I've been trying to do that for a long time, and it keeps getting parentheses.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's just hold on. So your point has been made.
I
You've
understand.
pointed it several times. They
Correct.
are not the same event. They are two separate events on the same day.
I
And
understand,
we've made
but
time. So it's
but
so,
they're
full
not
stop.
they're not being presented that
Right,
way.
they are being presented that way. They're two separate events on the same day. You're doing one. Cheryl's doing the other. We talk about whether we do one or both or none.
Okay,
but-
so
So let me change my question. Hold on. Are you okay with doing the fishing tournament on Saturday, April 26th?
no, not.
So no.
And
Are you
I'll-
interested in doing the fish tournament at all?
Yes, but let
Okay,
me
let's-
explain. So, there are three major fishing tournaments that happen in this area. One is in the fall. One is, two of them are scheduled for April. The Johnson Invitational, which is a local huge fishing tournament, is, just came out this, the end of last week. It's April 11th. The other exceptionally very, very huge tournament that's in Madeira Beach, the King of the Beach, which probably every fishing person here is going to go to, is that weekend. So I talked to my captain, who's going to help me run the tournament, Bill Rutherford, excuse me, yesterday. He said go to the 19th, Saturday, April 19th, and he said as far as he knows now, nothing's promoted or nothing's scheduled for them. But as soon as we can get word out that we're going to be at that day, then somebody else might not take that day.
Okay. So
So I'm happy to move forward, but we need to go on the 19th. And we also, the other issue that I was going to have on the 26th was we were changing the time to 1 o'clock, which was not going to work for this tournament. So if we move it to the 19th, I can still go forward with the 6 and 3 that we originally had planned for.
And
All right,
where
so-
is it going to be?
So people are going to start from wherever they want. But the weigh-in at 3 o'clock is going to be at Whiskey River. Also, the captain's party, or the captain's sign up the night before on Friday, the 18th, is also going to be at Whiskey River.
So,
okay. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, good. No, go ahead. I got it.
So let's just go ahead and see if we can get a consensus for the fishing tournament on Saturday, April 19th.
And it's moving it up a week.
Yes.
Correct.
So it'd be two back-to-back events.
What's back to back?
Well, because the weekend before that we got something else, but that's
Well,
When
it's
is
not
Easter?
back to back. I mean, it's a week apart.
when
When's Easter?
I don't know. Give me just
Easter Sunday was probably the 13th, right?
It's
Or is it 20th? It's 20th?
It's April 29th.
yeah, that's Easter weekend.
Because it's
I think that's why we skipped it in the first place.
Yeah.
That's why there
Yeah.
wasn't events on that weekend.
Yeah, because we were going to do the golf.
That's right.
A secondary date for the golf tournament was the 21st, which was Easter Monday.
I still think she can have it on the 19th.
yeah.
I do too.
It's a Saturday. It's not-
I don't think it's gonna. I mean, I think anyone who's really going to be celebrating the religious weekend probably isn't fishing. So, and then the ones, you know what I'm saying, it's vice versa. So I think you'll still have a good turnout for people who are going to fish.
Hey, it's Saturday anyway.
It's
It's not, it's not Easter Sunday. So
I fish. I celebrate Easter.
You know, so do I, but
You doing it
I
on
don't think
Saturday?
what I'm saying is that
and the reason he wanted to move it up to 19th was because of
There's a huge tournament in Madeira Beach on the 26th.
oh, okay, so it's conflicting with that.
It's the entire weekend. It's Friday, Saturday.
Well, did he seem to think that that would be an issue having back-to-back tournaments? Is it?
No. I asked him that question and he said no, that we'd be fine.
all right. So, are you still okay with doing the regatta then on the 26th?
I'm going to nix it and center my efforts on the food truck
Yeah, I
and
was
all
gonna-
that since it's at the presenting sponsor.
Yeah, I was thinking the regatta we could probably be one we could scratch.
Scratching out regatta and April
Okay,
26th.
so now I need you to.
Now you ought to be really happy, right? Because now there's no regatta at all.
Thank you.
Okay.
So can you
Thank you.
explain,
Problem solved.
because
Thank you.
that's the entry fee is a big problem then, because that's basically what they do is they collect the entry
We're
fees
gonna get
and
to
then
that
they
right now.
pay 80%,
I get it.
60 and
So
40.
we're probably gonna have to get the lawyer involved on that aspect of it.
Okay.
Giving two different opinions, because I just texted you what she said in the email, which is a little bit different than what she has worded here.
So it's conflicting with what she gave to us.
See my stickers?
The
Show my
golf tournament
stickers.
versus the bowling.
Yeah, so
Please.
golf.
Sal has to order them though.
I'm sorry.
If you guys could ask Chair to talk.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Golf tournaments, there is no similar exemption for golf tournaments in Chapter 849. Case law and Attorney General opinions clearly state that requiring a fee to play in a golf tournament is okay, and using a portion of that fee to pay a prize is okay. But if the purpose of the fee is to pay the prize, then that is essentially gambling called by a different name. Okay. So she's saying a portion is good.
Yeah, but it says something
So
different.
like you can buy the sticks for the fishing tournament and whatever, but a portion, we can't use the whole amount for them, right? Am I
Nope.
understanding
Well,
that right?
based on that verbiage, but when I pull up her other thing, you didn't send me that, did you?
Another question on that is versus gifts versus cash. Like, can we give a cash prize? Because I know we had
Well, that's a
did
whole
come
other
up.
discussion, right?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
but it's kind of part of it. But as for the golf course, he is donating 4 foursomes of free golf, and then we can get a discount on golf
Mhm.
gear.
Yeah, no, I think that's all fine. It's a portion of the entry fee
Right, that's what
being redistributed prize. So she's saying she's saying a portion is okay as long as it's not all of it.
Then we'd be fine.
But so here's where I question that, because she said the bowling tournament, which is the same structure, portion of it goes lineage, portion of it goes prize. She said that's illegal, other than it's exempted by statute. And the other parts of the bowling thing were those fees are all being redistributed as cash, which again, bowling tournaments are excluded. The way I read the statute, but there's that was her concern, that whole fee was being redistributed. So I thought I'm looking for it now.
Yeah, I mean, there's language in there to what you said.
Yeah, basically, if any.
So I'll ask her.
Yeah, so that's okay. Well, where was that at? Did you just look it up? I was going to read it here.
Yeah. That's right.
Is it the 849-14? Unlawful to bet on result of trial contest of skill. Let me see. So we'll have to figure that out. But the way I understand it is you can charge more than the to cover your costs. So in the golf scramble thing was what?
It's approximately $280 per player.
So you can
I
charge.
mean, per team. Sorry.
So you could charge $280, and let's say we go to $500. So we got the additional amount in there, but that's not being distributed. It's just take, right? And up front, somebody says, "Here's the prizes." So it's not specifically to generate the prize. You're not generating what the amount is based on that fee. You're setting the fee. You're setting the prize. So like, let's say on bowling terms, look for this coming up. The city says we're guaranteeing first place $1,000. We're guaranteeing second place $500. We're guaranteeing third place $250. The city is budgeting, and that's prize money for the event. And then the city gets all the incoming stuff for the bowling tournament. They pay the fees. Whatever's left over goes into the coffers or whatever, and the prize money goes out. But it's not connected, right? You're not specifically connecting that. In this case, $40 to prize money in a bowling tournament because statute allows you to do that. It specifically excludes bowling tournaments, so you can use the fee money for it. It's very strange. So, but there's no statute exemption for these other things. So that's where we got to get clarification on how we pay the prize. So
Also in that is, do we really need to go all the way to 500, or can we go to 400? Since it's like 280, I was thinking that would probably be, because the way I had it set up is to do. Well, I have to go back and look at it. I don't have it right here. It's in my spreadsheet at home. Like 35% goes to first, worth of like the rounds and the gear and the money. 25 goes to second, and so forth. So we can do it as a percentage. That way we're not saying you get $3,000 or you get. Does that help with that or not? Or does that not help with that?
I'm not sure
I wasn't sure exactly how you were explaining that.
If you're tying the percentage to the fees, or
if you take whatever you're charging above and you're putting that in a prize pool to be distributed, that's where the problem lies.
So
if you set a prize pool, and you don't know, and nobody enters, nobody wins any prizes. But if one person enters, they get the prize. So it's not connected to the entry fee.
you can't budget it.
We budget it. If the city put it on, the city could say we're going to give these 3 prizes at the golf tournament, and it's set, and we budget that item, and then whatever gets charged, you can recoup some of that prize money through that. It's just not connected. You may over recoup, you may just recoup it, you may not get all of it. As long as it's not connected, I think that's where the problem lies.
Calculated upon.
Right.
Okay, so I guess
I think was it pari-mutuel is the word. I think when you use the money that comes in to pay back out, I think that's, as long as you're not doing that, you're okay. It's not gambling. You're just, we're having a contest, costs money to get into it, and here's what we're paying. As long as you don't make it appear like gambling, it's not gambling.
it's still gambling.
The bowling tournament, we're only doing entry fees for $100, and we still don't know if we're going to have a turnout. Do we really think we're going to have a turnout for this golf scramble?
What
Question.
I just think that it's.
I said we don't even know if we're going to have a turnout for a bowling tournament at $100 per team. Are we really considering going to have a turnout for a golf scramble at how much per entry?
400 per team.
400 per team.
Yeah, but that's pretty normal for a golf tournament.
And it's on a Monday.
That's when they normally are, actually.
All right. The other thing with the golf tournament is,
but
he doesn't have a minimum.
Couldn't get the people here
I-
on Saturday.
I get it, and they have those golf tournaments all the time for charity purposes and all these things, and people take off work, put teams together, and all that. So I don't know. Bowling and golf are 2 separate things too.
Absolutely.
So
golf is probably more popular than bowling.
With the golf, are we on the hook with deposits and stuff
Well,
that
that's-
we don't get back?
Yeah. So that was the next question I asked you. What do we?
All right, so with the golf tournament, we have no minimum.
Is everybody's microphones on when you're talking?
Mine's on.
Make sure. Okay.
There's
But All right, so there's no minimum. He just needs like about a week ahead to let him know a number so that he can plan.
And there's no required upfront holding.
He has not asked for a deposit. It's not in his paperwork. But I would obviously, I'm asking him, and I've got that out there to him today, to double check on that, because so far I've gotten no, we don't require one as long as we have time. But as a city event, yes, we should probably at least give like a holder, space holder, a couple $100 at least.
Was there an agreement though that was sent out to members regarding that? Wasn't there an agreement that we would have to sign for the golf tournament? I thought there was one.
We moved from Innisbrook.
Oh, you moved from Minnesota.
Yeah,
I
that's right.
apologize.
That's right.
Sorry.
Yeah, Seven Springs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the
Sorry,
Innisbrook.
I wasn't-
No, yeah,
you weren't
Innisbrook
here-
did
you weren't
require.
here when it
Yeah,
got
was-
moved, Ashley.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Yeah, Innisbrook was
Sure.
Innisbrook was a
do-
flat 12,000.
Yeah. Do we have a gambling update?
Different.
I'll have it tomorrow.
Okay.
If we're going to move forward with that, you need to correct the name of the golf club on your flyer. It's Seven Springs with an S.
Yeah.
I think she put out a new one, right?
This was the one that was in the email yesterday or today.
Did I spell it right? It's Seven Springs with an S, right?
What do you have?
That's why
Seven
everybody
Spring.
went to,
The one that it just says Seven Spring
Oh.
Oh, okay. That's
on
Um,
both pages.
yeah, it's copied.
So, and that's set for the 21st. Is that the right date?
The 28th. That is
Oh, we
set
didn't
for
do
the
that on the
28th,
calendar yet either.
and it's been changed online on the calendar on the event list. So
In the calendar, it still shows
Yeah,
21st. Okay. So, again, bowling, golf, two different things. I think if we promote the hell out of that golf thing, we can probably make that. There's no minimum, which is huge.
right. I
Which
mean,
I
he's
can't
like,
believe
hey,
that.
if we get 48 golfers, I mean, that's only 12 teams. So I'm thinking if we get 15 to 20, we will have a great tournament.
I will play.
Hoping for 25. But
I will play in it. I'll get 3 people to play. I know my neighbor. I probably talk. I mean, we probably do that. We just need to work out the whole prize thing, obviously.
I mean, I had 500 as just a placeholder on the sheet, but I'm thinking a 400 would be better with the
Yes, if that's
that should be plenty for anybody to be enticed to come. Plus, we got the hole-in-one car.
I mean, just to play around golf is at that course is probably $40-$50.
Yes.
So, and you're getting food and all of that. I think it's
Yes.
people do that just to play golf for a day. You're gonna play, right?
Golf?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No, I mean, I'll come or something, but I can't play golf to save my life. No, I know my strengths, and that's not one of them.
That's not all right.
But the cost of this is obviously way less than what we were discussing
Yes,
for
so-
Innisbrook.
Well, I mean, if you don't have a deposit amount, yeah, he hasn't said anything. I mean, I guess
We have an official contract. We are on their calendar. He has. He didn't ask for one, and his banquet said they don't require one. Just leave us the notice. Being a city, we get a little grace there, but I would suggest we give them a couple $100 just because, which is normal. 100 to 500 is a normal
What?
deposit.
Actually, if you want to ask him if he just for the advertising, if we make him a in-kind sponsor, if he's willing to.
That's what he's getting. The only thing they can give away is the rounds and a discount on.
Well, that but he's not charging an upfront fee or whatever to book it. I mean,
that can be part of his income.
any discount that he's giving, we might as well make him an income.
Yes, I sent him the sponsorship packet. And
yeah,
stuff.
because I like obviously help that way.
Right.
Because that's incredibly generous to not have to wait a week out. So I think let's just really try to do that one for sure. It's on 28th, so you got the date right on there, right?
Yeah, I just changed it on the calendar too. Refresh, and it's there.
Okay. And is there anybody opposed to the golf scramble? Okay, so that's good.
Do we have any news, just real quick, on there was a guy talking about sponsoring it? Brian, possibly?
I'll go chase him this week.
Okay.
Was Ryan still considering it, or
Yeah, I
As
think
far as I
so.
know.
Okay.
So I mean, he's busy, so he's got his hands a lot. So I don't know, but and maybe that solved the prize problem. Maybe he just sponsored the prize money.
And John Maloney was on board as far as the carbs and everything. So
That'd be a fun event.
and it does not sound like he has a does like par 3 doesn't have to be a certain yardage, so we can pick whichever hole.
Yeah.
Which it's suggested to do hole 2.
What was our projected time for the golf scramble? Like the dirt, like in
They
the
kick off
morning?
at
Kick off at
10, 11. What's the time
10. Oh wait, no. You're talking about the
for the golf scramble?
golf scramble is at 8.
Starts at 8. That
8
starts
to
early.
12.
8 a.m.?
It takes about 4 hours, 3
Yeah.
to 4, 3.5 to
That's
4
right, you
hours
have
to do
lunch.
golf. Yes.
8 a.m. to like 1?
12.
Oh,
It will
12?
go to one. It'll go to 1, yes, because we're going to
Yeah,
do
1
lunch
because you
and
have
do prizes. Yes. So it is 8 to 1 is the whole event.
All right.
Okay. So checking the calendar. Oh, you still got the stuff in March. Okay. So you aren't changing anything yet.
Well, I just changed 8 to 1 on the golf scramble.
Okay. Got that.
But no, I'm not deleting yet until we're all 100% sure and I can do this
Okay.
tonight or
And
tomorrow.
so that's 28th, and then the 30th is the expo, which we said we were still good with, right?
Yes.
The fishing tournament will move to the 19th.
Yes, sir.
We scratched the regatta.
Okay, can we get clarification then, because on the entries, because my understanding from the captain is
Have it
that,
tomorrow.
yeah,
Have it tomorrow.
Fit
that they
tomorrow.
collect all of that and then
They'll have it
give a
tomorrow.
percentage. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Unless I have to spend money to,
No, I get it. And
He said tomorrow.
we can find out tomorrow the best we can get.
thank you.
Okay. So that's all of April. And then May, that's pretty much the kickoff. So do we still thinking Saturday and 4 kickoff parade
Mhm.
and then combine with golf cart? Good. Okay.
Well, I mean, if we push more, this anything in May should just stay where it is. Because,
Yeah, I think we're good with May.
because that's the end, and we have several weeks to promote May. So, I think unless we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna combine the golf cart parade with the kickoff. Mayor's Ball stays the same. We're just gonna add some events during the children's event, Mud Strut, and then I'm gonna nix the 18th because if we can nix some stuff in March, I was just gonna nix the 18th and call that a day.
No
No.
consensus there.
I can't do that.
No.
No,
May
sure?
17th is
Although we'd
just
save a
going
lot
to
of money, but no.
yeah.
I can't nix the 18th. No, I can't.
May
I was just throwing
17th
it
is
out there.
just
I'm
a
trying,
Centennial
sorry.
event.
That's the actual next.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go ahead.
May 17th is
It's Centennial
Centennial
event.
Festival.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
So
That
we
includes
can
all
take
those
off
elements.
children's event, much strut, all that'll
Oh,
just
we're
be
just
specific.
calling it
Yeah, we'll put the events together, but
Yeah, with flyers and everything else like that. As far as the event
Centennial
list.
Festival.
Centennial Festival.
All right, thank you. Don't yell at me. Yeah.
Speaking of the official name, so I've been using the City of Port Richey Centennial and then putting, because like the celebration is like the stuff as a whole. Am I doing it wrong?
oh, did you have a comment on? I know you.
Yeah, well, because all the other flyers have said City of Port Richey Centennial Celebration, then the event name,
Yeah. Well, it was also keeping the flyers with a somewhat of a
like consistency.
consistency.
Yes.
Uniform.
So whatever you've got, obviously the field day is going to
Right.
change quite a bit, but the golf scramble one, I think that you have.
So add celebration in there. I got
Do you have a problem with? So if you want to be the same person probably needs to kind of throw them into a template. If you're good with taking what they have and kind of morphing it into, is that okay with that? Okay. So if you can, do you have a problem?
No, I was going to say something to you, but
So whatever flyers are being done outside of Kim, if you can get her what you kind of have with the information, and then she can morph it into what it needs, we can get the payment thing, which I'm going to talk about very soon. Yeah. So
you just said I like and believe me, she's extremely busy, and I appreciate all the help that she's done. But if you're willing to accept that responsibility to funnel the flyers through her, via the clerk, and then to her, that way we have one person doing the final mock-up, and then we can get that out. and I'd like to do this as soon as possible. If we're gonna eliminate this in March, and do all this like shock and awe to this event list, we really got to stick to what we're saying and get all these flyers put together ASAP and out with,
Let me
with all these
interject
dates.
on flyers a little
ahead.
bit because we need flyers, we need event Facebook page,
Yeah.
story, and
Yep.
IGs. Okay, so the four.
There is no
sizes.
Instagram for Facebook or for the city.
But I'll be sharing it out
Oh.
on my
Okay,
channel.
oh, yeah, so you
yeah.
can have the,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the city doesn't
So-
have their own Instagram.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I just want to use all my channels
Yeah.
completely. All right. If we can get those 4 sizes, fantastic.
Who's doing the Centennial Parade?
We were the first one asked, but I guess it.
Oh, no, I was just gonna.
I think it's Caroline, actually.
Oh, Carolyn?
I think
Because
so.
the golf cart has now moved to that, so I was gonna
Yeah, you can help out.
use my wisdom over there.
She would
Excited.
appreciate the help.
I'm sure she'll be appreciative.
Well, what I was gonna do is just, they come in to pay for their golf cart registration, just hit them up then. That's all I can do. It is.
I wanted to ask a
Actually
question
coming
about
good, so
Okay,
it works out good.
Okay, yeah. So
I
question?
wanted to ask a question about bowling because I was talking to the police department, Joanne and Jackie, and I really would like them to come in the fire department. So Joanne said that she wanted to bring like 3 people today, and I said, "Are they from the police department?" And she said no. So because I was kind of thinking maybe we could offer them free bowling for the $100 for the police department and the fire department to come, and so I wanted to bring it up to you guys, but I told her no, that you have to have them put the flyer out to the Port Richey Police, not your group, because I'm bringing my 3 grandchildren and my brother, and I'm paying, and I'm on the committee, so.
Yeah, no,
so
I
are
agree.
you.
So you're thinking like a team for like police and a team for fire?
Yes, I was just wondering what you thought about it.
Like 4 firefighters and 4 policemen. Like
Yeah.
if they actually
You wanna
have a team.
If they would, yeah.
Because what she's doing, with her
I
and 3 other
don't-
people, no. But
That's what I told her today, because that's why I wanted to call her to find out who she was interested in. I said I'd really rather have the fire, the police people. So she said she was going to put it out there. I didn't know because I've been there twice already.
Is there an issue with? I've seen like there would be the issue if because that'd be like the city sponsoring a team. We don't do that.
Right.
It's a noble thing to have a bowl there or whatever.
You
but
can't do that.
the city can't sponsor a team.
Oh.
The only thing we're doing is because it's part of the sponsorship thing is that if you were that level sponsor now Ocean Honda, then the city would pay their entry fee because they get 2 team entries,
What's the entry fee?
100.
Well, the city did donate $10,000.
That's for the fireworks.
Oh, yeah, that's what
Wait,
it was.
Causing trouble.
Right.
I just thought it would be a nice gesture.
Is it
for
2
the police.
teams or 1 team?
So it'd be one for the police department and one for the fire department.
They're sponsored. Consider them sponsored.
Thank you so much,
You're
Cheryl.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
I like a team too.
We need to clarify if we're gonna have police and fire members actually wanting to sign up, because what I think Debbie is talking about is an employee and some friends. So I just wanna make sure
No,
We
you don't
have
want that to
people.
happen.
No, she wants 4 firefighter and 4 police. That's what she's agreed to sponsor, right?
Right.
Community markets and events will sponsor a team of firefighters and a team of police officers.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was nice.
Who did that?
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, I'll be
Sure,
on it.
Taylor.
I'll be 17. I'm sure we can have more.
Now I am.
I have a question on the end of the events. So on May 18th, so you have the concert and the fireworks, which obviously are in the evening, but we also have the install of the new time capsule. So obviously that can't be in the evening if we're gonna, I think we
That's
need to
something-
do that.
That So-
maybe at a different time where we're figuring out what we're gonna actually put in, and I don't know if we're actually gonna bury it that day or not.
So yes, we want to put the time capsule in that day, and the mayor's been coordinating with Congressman Bill Rakis' office to be there that day. And what we're trying to do is there'll probably be a early daytime ceremony.
Yeah, they're doing a congressional record for the Centennial. It's going to be in archives.
Yeah, probably here at City Hall. We're just trying to get confirmation on that date so we can start, adding times, and then we want to put the time capsule in the ground on that day and have the new plaque say May 18th, 2025. So going forward, every 25 years, it'll be opened on the birthday of the city. So that's what we're trying to do. But we're trying to coordinate with his office to make sure that he'll be able to come and do the congressional thing, so we can have an early day type of ceremony, and then the stuff later on at night.
So do you want to do that? So we're still gonna do that on Sunday in the morning?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Then we have to you need to change the time or something, because everything says 6 to 10 on the calendar.
Yeah, I know. We're going to be, as soon as we get everything set in, I'm going to be changing times and dates and everything else.
Can I ask you a question, Sam? Can you order me 2-inch stickers? I can put them on the back of the.
Yes, I'm making note of that.
Is there any charge for them?
No, we'll be able. I'll talk to Adam about that. It should be minimal.
Okay, thank you. We'll have them ready by Saturday.
That I don't know. I'll try and see.
Pushing it over there.
Short run.
And can you let me know when they come in?
Yeah.
It's gonna get sent to you.
I assume you want the stickers to have the logo on it.
Yes.
The
Yes.
Centennial logo. Okay.
That'd be nice.
Okay.
What else would they have on?
I don't know. I thought a picture of me or something.
I like that.
See, I mean, not you. You put a picture you want.
You got your head kind of looks like a bowling ball.
Thanks.
Get the eye
I
socket.
probably got a couple holes in my head. Yeah, probably holes in my head.
I just get you. Okay, so I think we have any other comments about the scale down events or whatever. I think we got. Is there any questions about the schedule? I know we kind of went through different things, so we go over it real quick just to make sure tell us what you have.
Yeah.
So we make sure we aren't missing anything. So
March, everything is off, right?
Yep.
Okay, so March is completely off,
and February's the only thing we got left is a bowling tournament on this coming Saturday.
and we're still doing that.
Correct.
April 11th, the Port Richey Got Talent is off.
Just tell us what you have.
Okay, car show for April 12th.
Uh-huh.
The fishing tournament for April 19th.
Wait, forgot
Wait.
the trucks on the 13th.
Yeah, food trucks on 13th. Food truck rally on 13th.
Oh, I have it written down here at the bottom. Okay, so April 12th is car show. Food truck night is April 13th. Fishing tournament is April 19th. Golf scramble is still April 28th, Monday 28th. Business expo is April 30th on Wednesday. And everything in May stays the same, except that we're changing the children's event / mud strut to the Centennial Festival.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to change the title of the kickoff parade to / golf cart parade.
Yeah.
We'll just inform people that we're going to include golf carts in that parade. And that's it. That's what I got.
I think that's it for that. Everybody good with that list? Perfect. Okay.
Real quick sponsor update. The other significant sponsor I've been meeting with at 4:30 on Thursday.
This coming Thursday?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, let me see where we're at on the agenda here real quick. Let's see, because we don't have anything about the shirt on here, but we do old business.
We can do old business. We'll talk about the shirt and banner.
Well, so since we're okay, we've covered number one. We've had discussion on field day because we've changed, obviously. Centennial Festival, craft fair, we took care of that. We've got number 4, discussion on Mayor's Ball. What is the discussion for that? Is that
The only thing is for next agenda, I will have a mock-up for the actual invitation, not the flyer, and a mock-up for the tickets.
Okay.
But that'll be on the next agenda. And then I reached out to 3 different companies about the Christmas ornament, and they also do the coins, the 3 companies, but I haven't gotten pricing back yet, so that was the only.
Okay. I did just do a Google search on the coins or whatever. They were like anywhere from $3 to $5.
Yeah, they weren't much.
And we did, like I said, the city has done them before. The police department had that one or whatever. I don't know who they used or whatever, but those are nice. And like I said, I don't know if they were around that cost or whatever, but
We could talk to Jackie Handel.
see if they can remember who they used and whatever, what the cost was.
Yeah, because the ornaments were running, like what I saw online, some of them were $5 to $8. So I don't know if that's how much we want to spend, because it seemed a little high on the ornaments, but the coins might be nice.
Okay. Anything else on Mayor's Ball? Okay, and I did. I was at an event there, and I met Daphne. Her name was real nice. She's part owner, I think. Is that okay? And I think she's excited. She's working with you guys on all the decorations and whatnot. So, okay, moving on to old business. So let's cover the T-shirt stuff. Do you have something? Well, go ahead.
Can we just review the times if we're going to have a times column?
Yeah, we could do that too. Before we
Yeah, you want to do it? Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Times, just to make sure.
So bullet term we've got.
2 to 6, right?
It's
2 to 6.
2 to 6, right?
Car show. What are we thinking for Saturday, April 12th?
Those typically are really early in the morning, so
10.
You want a tentative, put 10 to 2?
yeah.
Was his thoughts is longer than that, or
No, they rarely stay much past lunch.
okay?
They
I didn't know what he was planning on doing. Obviously,
It's all it does. It's all it does. So 10 to 2 would work, and that way, that time of year, the cars will get home before the rains come in. That's their big thing. They don't want them rained on.
Yeah, that's true. It's April.
Yeah. Do you want to put locations on here since we've solidified that stuff now too? Yes, those 2 are Ocean Honda. Bowling Terminal is obviously Lane Glow South.
Yeah. Food truck night. Do we want to say 6 to 10?
4 to 8.
4 to 8. Fishing tournament, 6 a.m., 10 a.m.?
It's 6 to 3.
Oh, 6 to 3.
Yeah, no, the times pretty much you can change that because there's no regatta. So
Right, 6 to 3.
6
So
to 3.
6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay.
Right.
Golf scramble, I would say was going to be 8 a.m.
8 to 1.
8 to 1.
Yep, and that's at
Seven Springs.
Seven Springs with an S.
Sorry about that.
I just want to make sure that
Hey, Sal,
On the
on the car show, early day of registration at 8 a.m. because they will want that time frame on there.
If they want to
For the car
register on
show.
that day, they have
Yeah.
to be there at 8.
oh, okay.
Because I'll load them in beginning at like 7.
the fishing tournament, are we? Where like are you planning on being set up at
Whiskey Rivers.
Whiskey River?
So there's no launch.
They launch on what they wanted.
So how do you?
They go out with the.
Well, I get that, but normally a fish tournament, they could have caught it earlier in the morning. That wouldn't count, right?
Because they have to take pictures with the timestamp.
Okay.
And they could have caught it earlier and then timestamped.
It doesn't take pictures later, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but we're trying to.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's still,
I just had never heard of fish tournament just leaving from wherever, but
yeah, I asked him that, and he said it's just a free,
that a common thing, I guess.
free thing, rather than everybody goes the same.
Okay. And then weigh in is it
Free.
at 3?
They can provide videos during the course of the day if they want to.
Okay.
Whatsoever.
Okay. What's next?
So golf scramble is 7 Springs, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Business Expo
Vesh.
is it going to be at Vesh, and I believe the same time, which was 3:30 to 7:30. Yeah, 3:30 to 7:30. We were keeping the same times.
Why 3:30?
That's what she had the first time, and she was.
Odd time.
Gives you an excuse to get out of work early to go to the business
Maybe
expo.
it's that.
Yeah.
And then May, we've got the kickoff parade.
So the kickoff parade. I think that's what we have tentatively on the calendar. Is that a good time?
That seems early
That seems
for a parade. That seems late.
most parades are in the morning.
Huh?
Like 10 to 2, most parades.
Oh, like
I've never been to an afternoon parade. I don't know.
oh, night. No, they start like at 6.
Yeah, because it's
I
too
mean,
hot.
Chasco starts at.
Well, it being
Lineup
May,
is at
yeah, you're going
6.
to want it either early morning or late at night.
Early or
'Cause it's going to be hot.
6:30.
And especially with golf carts, you got lights and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So your lineup is going to be probably 4:30, with it rolling out at 6:30.
That's on a Saturday, right? Or something?
yeah. So what time we start again? Yeah, I got 4. I have 4:30 to start. So
6:30.
And make it 6:30 for the public notification. Lineup doesn't matter.
And so it starts at 6:30.
okay, starts at 6:30. Okay.
Goes until Santa shows.
Do we need Santa?
How you doing? So great.
Oh, get Santa.
Oh my gosh.
No, we could have the mayor on a big float.
Yeah.
Can we dress him up in a red suit?
Mayor's Bowl, I've got 6 to 10.
Yes.
Okay, and that's Spartan.
Mhm.
Then this Centennial Festival obviously is a waterfront park. What time we're going to start with that?
Well, Sunday we're doing the stuff with Bill Rockus and that. So the Saturday,
That's a Centennial Festival.
10.
Run that one 9 to 2.
Oh, we're having the fireworks and stuff.
No, the day before that.
All the day before that.
Really, 9 to 2? You think
Run
it's?
it 9 to 2
How come so early?
because we'll get the nicer weather. It's going to get hot in the afternoon.
Oh, it's true. It's late.
Yeah, I'm worried about the old folks.
Especially if you have like the crafts and stuff, they always come out early.
Where did we say the kickoff parade was going to start?
Walmart.
Yeah, that's right. Stage Walmart. And we'll need to reach out to them and make sure they're good with that. Okay, and then
Basically May 18th is, like I said, we're going to be morphing that into 2 things. City Hall in the morning, probably about, depending on if they confirm, but I would say like maybe 10 a.m. And that's going to be short, probably 10 to 11, just to put the time capsule in and then whatever congressional address he was going to make, and then that's it. Something very small and short.
what about the park?
Probably, we started boom on the bayou about 6 o'clock, so that gives vendors enough time to sell product and whatnot. So,
Well, I mean, what about the are we going to do the Centennial Park thing?
What?
To rededicate the park?
I still have to look at the signs and see how much that's going to cost. As far as,
But that would be probably in between after we do whatever we do time capsule here. We'd probably do that, and
So for that day, vendors can come in at 5, people can come in at 6.
6 p.m.
well, you wouldn't want vendors there earlier than that because of the Johnny Cash concert going on.
When's the concert?
You'd want food trucks there all day, I would think.
Well, we're thinking of doing a combination. Well, no, we were going to do both at the same time. We were going to do like a concert, because of budget. Because we weren't going to have like a several-hour concert type of thing.
Well, not several hours, but it would be before the fireworks. It's basically leading up to the fireworks,
Well,
right?
we got 3 hours before that. I mean,
Okay.
6 o'clock, you got 3 hours. It's not going to be dark till about 9:15. So you got 3 hours before that. So yeah,
Oh,
plenty of
so
time.
basically that's the concert and the
Yeah.
fireworks at the end.
And just like me and Adam have to dig more into that. But what we're thinking of is, we're gonna either hire a local band. There's some, I think Newport Richie used a local band to play, Johnny Cash, related music and, most of his music throughout the day, probably an acoustic setup, going around throughout the park.
We say a little band. You talking about a Johnny Cash impersonator, or just a band plays music?
Well, we're looking into both. We're thinking like either an impersonator that plays, but those
That'd
aren't,
be
those
nice. At
yeah,
least
it'd be nice, but they ain't cheap. Because the ones I looked up, they weren't cheap. They weren't like
maybe Thomas of the historical side can do
thousands
that
of
too.
dollars to do that. And then obviously have a DJ there as well. Set up to run it like we did for the Bayou, and then obviously our fireworks at 9:00, and then also seeing about doing if we can budget the laser on the drone show.
Okay. Cool. All right. Good on times?
Yes, I'm good.
I have one little thing I don't even know where to put it in. The DJ that I was going to use for Field Days 5K, that was going to announce everything. He's given us a really good deal. If anybody needs
DJ
him.
Omar or whatever.
If he's needed, and he works for Florida Blue, who would be a great sponsor. He's talking to them, or a future sponsor. So,
Well, let's do them for the Centennial Festival.
I'm trying to get him. But anyway, if we need him for one of these other events,
Yeah.
I will, or me or Janet will reach out to whoever and give you the information.
Well,
Side note.
Probably needs me and a master ceremonies or something for the car show. Unless Honda was going to provide something like that, because you're going to want to do announcements for the car show and things like that. So
are they going to have music there? Yes.
I would definitely put him on that.
And the mayor's ball.
Yeah.
I already have some.
Something like that.
I'll give you his.
Is that DJ sound?
Is it less than 8? Is it
Well,
less than
your stuff
3?
is kind of rolling into my stuff so hard. I
I'm
will
going
together.
to get back to that. I have that's a really good recommendations from people.
So you're
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have 3 that I'm looking at. I'm trying to get.
Okay. Go with that?
Yes.
Okay. Old business. T-shirts.
Actually, if you can, when she has a moment, she's going to pull up the recent mock-up that I have. This is the color that we chose.
Heather Navy, right?
Yeah. It should allow. Yeah, there you go.
Sorry. My goodness.
Obviously, our event list is going to be much shorter now on there.
Yeah.
You can tell it's me. I thought they were going to take the month off of there too.
So, take what off?
The month.
Yeah. So I'm fine with because there's actually they only have 14 sponsors on here. Now that I have Verana, they also have to add Tampa Bay Watch on there, which I found their logo and gave it to them today. So they're going to add those two. And now that we've radically changed the event list, I'm thinking of just taking the event list off, adding those few sponsors, and then just having the list of names and the sponsors.
That's a great idea.
Especially now that everything has changed. I'm just, she's going to be sending me a mock-up without the event list and stuff like that. She was saying the more sponsor logos that we keep adding, it's making all the other prints smaller and harder to read.
So I was going on the sponsors because obviously we got Ocean Big and I know we've got 2,500s in there, thousands and less. Can we?
You want the 2,500 a little bit bigger?
I would Ocean be the biggest, obviously. The 2,500s, and if there's 5,000, I don't think we have anything. But 2,500s be on the next line a little bigger than the thousands, smaller, and then anybody else even smaller underneath that.
Okay.
And that'll help you with your real estate.
Yeah, completely. I don't think they need to be on.
So size sponsors.
So what is our, do we have a cutoff day then for sponsors? So we can get these shirts done.
Given the fact that
I've got time now.
yeah, so ideally we want all sponsors on that shirt, right? We don't want to have to go back and do that second shirt. I wouldn't even do that. It's in my opinion, I would just if you haven't done it, and
right.
obviously the people we're going to talk to, tell them that and we'll make a determination right now on the date. I would say we need to have all the sponsors done by mid-March.
The end of
March
February.
15th.
March 15th.
Yeah, mid-March.
No, because then because then by the time if we do it that late, then I still won't have a product till it's going to cut it. It would be end of March, but by the time we get finalized,
March 10th.
I mean,
I
even
said the end of
March
February.
Yeah, the
That's
end of
2 more
February or
weeks.
the 28th, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
That gives 1 more week and a half to solidify sponsorship. Let's go with that.
Try. We'll try.
and like I said,
I'm gonna try.
we almost have between in kind and everything we're pushing close to 20 sponsors. I think that's very healthy, especially for the fact that we've cut events and with what else that we've got to do.
Why don't we do that? So our next meeting is past February is March 4th.
Okay.
Why don't we solidify, it gives it a couple extra days at the beginning of March, and we'll solidify the design on March 4th.
I'm okay with that.
That sound fair to everybody?
Very fair.
March 4th final for sure. Okay.
So we'll decide, that meeting will decide on the shirts, and then they can go to print.
Now don't tell me you have someone March 3rd. Say, hey, I got someone March 3rd.
Hey, well, somebody's going to come up with some money.
Okay.
I'm going to let you know. But again, if it comes down to that March 4th or whatever, and we have somebody in the pipeline that's waiting on a check or whatever, they filled out the form, we'll go ahead and put them and deal with that. But try to let them know that I would tell them the shirts are getting ready to go to print. We need your commitment now, and that way you got 2 weeks to get the money in. Because obviously he needs to have that design mocked up on the 4th, so he needs to know probably by the end of February, so he can have a couple of days to finalize that.
Are we okay with removing the event list completely and just keeping sponsors, the committee, and council?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. It'd be nice to have events on there, but
Because you need more room for more sponsors.
Yeah.
Anyway.
it's not incredibly important.
Well, I'd take that off there, make Ocean Honda huge. They gave 20 grand.
But yeah, no, I definitely would put Ocean a little bit bigger than they are now on there. Just try to.
Well, now that I'll have the real estate.
Yeah.
I can-
Yeah, you can play with that. Yeah, with the event list off there, that gives you a lot of flexibility. So, okay. Anything else, old business?
The banner.
Yep.
So I just want to get a consensus on this. Now, she told me in the email that this, even though it's in portrait, thank you, in portrait form, it wouldn't be stretched. That's exactly how the banner would look. But then she also made a landscape version of the banner, and then that's what she's got. So I'm fine either way. Because I asked her, I'm like, well, the committee was concerned about the portrait version being stretched. We don't want it stretched out. She goes, no. She goes, it won't look like that. She goes, it's just the way I laid everything out, but that's the way the banner would look as you see it. So however you guys want it to do, this would be the general banner for all our events. Obviously, if we need to do specific event banners, we can, but this would go with every event. So
when you say this is how it would look, I mean, I'm trying to envision it. Is the banner going to be a portrait banner?
well, no, she said that it's just this is the way she laid this out, but it wouldn't. Because I told her, I says, well, we don't want the logo like wide and stretched on a 6-foot banner. And she goes, no. She goes, I just put your logo on the top and everything like this to show it to you.
So what's the landscape?
So basically, this would be.
Sideways? Can you go back to the landscape? Yeah, give me a minute. Yeah, there you go. So it looks like that?
No. She said
No, because the logo's on the top.
she said that these are just two different formats. And I talked to her. I emailed her. We had both conversations. I said, you have to understand, they're worried about it being stretched. Now, I tell you the truth, if she stretches that one, I won't buy it. I mean, as I told her, I said, it can't look stretched out. I says, she goes, no, it won't.
I
That's
don't like that.
I like the bigger logo that was on the first one.
I don't like that second one.
I don't like the second one. I like the first one.
This one?
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't know how that's gonna look on a landscape. It's
well, I think that
We ought to be looking at the exact banner,
right, like
Mock-up.
mock-up.
just in a
gonna see.
in a ratio of condensed size.
I've
Because that I'm almost thinking that she's going to give us a banner that we put portrait. Would have to be. Either that, or you're going to have a bunch of space on both sides of it.
Do you want me to do a mock-up so you can send it to her? Because clearly she's not understanding, maybe.
I'll set a meeting to go and see her. If you want to come, that's fine. But
We'll go back to the second one.
if you guys don't like the second one, and it's fine.
Well, at least it's in a
It's
landscape format.
Yeah.
So the Centennial celebration is huge.
Too big.
So you could almost, and again, the banner's going to be long, so you could almost put Centennial celebration on the same line, I would think, right? Which would be able to get you a bigger logo on top, City of Port Richey, and the dates.
And Ocean Honda should be big.
And Ocean would be bigger too. I mean, basically, what you have on the first one just kind of condensed.
Then she did for Bloomberg.
Vertical.
You went to Space Age?
Yes.
Let me see what she did for Bloomberg.
All the font sizes on the first one, but do it.
Yeah,
And then, yeah.
See, the thing is that these
Just
are their
rearrange
mock-ups.
it.
I'm almost thinking we have to do our own mock-up
Right.
and get our
Just
point
give it to
across.
them and they'll-
Yeah,
Exactly.
print it, because that's what I had to do when I had to make that
Yeah,
sign. I had to mock it up for her and bring it over there.
Yeah, we've got the. I mean, I like the colors. I like the all the stuff that's in it. It just needs to be
If I
arranged
can-
on a banner.
So let me ask you something. If I can get that proportionate size, the way everything is laid out like that, in a landscape form, are we okay with the way everything is sized on that?
Sized,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Because
Just
Ocean
rearrange
Honda's
it.
Ocean Honda's
It's
bigger,
big,
the
yes.
logo is bigger, the Centennial celebration is nowhere near as big. I think that's proportionate. So that's what I would like to push and make sure everything
Yeah.
comes out
The
that
only,
size.
the only thing I would add, do we want to put our actual city logo on there too, with that?
You don't have to.
I don't even have to, but
Well, you could have the city of, the Centennial logo, City of Port Richey, and then the City of Port Richey logo.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Then Centennial celebration, the dates.
Because obviously,
And
if
the
you have that on the
presenting
top line of a banner, just the logo is going to be dead center. Whereas you put it on both sides of it, the
The
Centennial logo, our actual logo, City of Port Richey in the middle.
That would help stretch it out too.
That helps stretches it out, and I think it's important to have our actual logo on it. I don't think it needs it.
Do you think we should not use the Centennial logo then?
No.
Oh, definitely Centennial. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Both.
Okay.
I know it doesn't help the color scheme, obviously.
Mm-mm.
How about if it was everything like that, but the Centennial logo was on the left and the City of Port Richey logo was on the right,
And then Ocean at the bottom.
and Ocean on the
Put
bottom.
City of Port Richey in between the two logos, like
Yeah.
you were saying.
Well, on a banner, if you only got that logo on top, it's just going to be in the center, and you can't enlarge it too much because it's going to be proportionate. It's going to continue to grow width and vertical too, and so it's going to take away from. I mean, it can only be so big.
I think the only question is adding that. I think you have the logo, City of Port Richey, and then do you put the red one over here on the side or not?
Yeah.
8x4. We did a.
The smaller ones for the fence.
Oh, no. I meant
just have to, it would.
either
Go for
have it or
6x8.
not.
Then
One
we
of-
did the big
yeah.
one.
You could also do,
No, 6x8. You're right. And then we did
I think it looks nice.
4x6 for inside.
but again, it's going to be in the middle. It's going to be all kind of space to the left and the right of it. If you maybe do two of the Centennial logos, one in each corner, with City of Port Richey in the middle. Maybe you just down in Centennial presenting sponsor area, whatever, you put a little city logo somewhere. Well, that's we're kind of sponsoring it too, obviously. So you could maybe do that. Wouldn't be as offensive. What's your thoughts, man? Do we need it on there at all?
What's everybody
Our
else
logo?
Yeah.
I think we should go.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking. It should be on there.
So that's what I'm saying. So keeping everything font size and everything the same, and put the Centennial logo on one side and the City of Fort Beach logo on the other.
That's one.
One idea.
One
The other
idea.
one was putting it down at the bottom.
But if you make it smaller, it doesn't. Because the only problem with the logo is the color scheme is it's totally different. So
So like where we had it down the McDonald's one, we could do this regular city logo down there. Put that down there, put Ocean up top with the Centennial logo.
Let's get together and do a mock-up and then bring it back to the
Yeah.
next. We've got time now.
yeah, we can, and like I say, if we don't like, it, we always scratch the city logo. But I would like to try to incorporate that on there.
No, I'll do a mock-up that we can look at.
Okay.
But you guys did a really nice job of colors on the. I mean, it's really pretty.
Thank you.
Really, and matter of fact, it actually enhances the logo itself. Yeah, just smacking. Man, do you need some? Okay. Any other old business?
Oh, one last technical item for Adam. Sales tax exemption. Like for the food, she's got tax in her quote. Are we sales tax exempt on everything? Are we sales tax exempt on some things?
Everything.
Sales tax now on everything.
Everything.
Should we
How
do-
do we get a sales tax exemption form from the city so that I can give
She
it?
can email you one.
Send me an
Perfect.
email, I'll send you one.
Awesome.
Plus, actually, I'll send it to everybody in case anybody needs it for small purchases that you need.
And just staying on the financial stuff, let's talk about the payment thing. What did you find out on having a direct thing going in and dividend?
So I'm going to be straight up with you. I talked to my lady about it, but then I forgot to ask her about it before I came in here.
Are you normally not straight up with me? Is that what you're saying?
No, I wanted to be straight up with you this time, just in case I'm never in. So I will. I'll get that handled tomorrow. But I was doing payroll today, so I was busy.
Okay.
So I know if you go to and put that information in, they did create a spot where you would type in whatever the event. Either there's a drop down.
Yeah, the drop down says event.
Or you can put in what it specifically is for. So you
But we
would
were
do
trying to
one-
make it a little easier,
You
right?
can do one.
Ideally, if we could, and again, there's a way in the QR code if the back end page has the appropriate code to it that you could pass parameters to. We could do that ourselves in a QR code to take them right there or link whatever. But we have to have that ability to accept parameters into those fields. And the way the only problem with that is there's like multiple steps. You put it in there and you start.
Mm-hmm.
Next and all these different things. Ideally, and I don't know how hard it is for them to come up with just a separate portal page for payments that we would specifically for events where we just have, what event you're paying for. We have the ability to populate that. It's a back end table. And if it's bowling, it automatically populates $100. If it's golf scramble, it's already $400. If it's business at 75, all that stuff we could put in a table behind there, and if it populate that drop down, and then we take a link right to there. It's focused on the event payment, and then we capture whatever we need for the event payment, and we don't have to put any kind of web codes in there. It's all pre-populated. And again, if you want to get as granular as each event has its own web ID, or if you want it to all go the same thing, but if you got the fields that you're capturing, like name, address, the event name, and the dollar amount, if that's all table driven back in, it really doesn't matter if it all goes to the same account because you'll have that detail behind the transaction. So, however you need to do it from a financial perspective, but we can't have them go through this rigmarole.
Yeah, and I tried to do it to get the QR code where it was already populated, and it would not. It just kept bringing back to that front page.
And that's because you do it with, in the URL, it takes you to the base page, question mark. You can see what the form fields are, wherever it's at equals, and you pre-populate it, but you have to have JavaScript to read those in as parameters and populate it. And we'd have to have the developer, whoever does this, do it. So
I'm wondering if it would probably be best to do a web ID for each one. And then that way they would be able to do what he's talking about, because
again, you missed the point though, because if we do it, if just not even go through that same thing, build it for the event.
So we can go in and create as many web IDs as we want, but I get what you're saying. See if we
I
can.
don't know if we even need that. We need a web ID to post it somewhere, and I think the one you used had $50 code to it. I don't.
So you're saying going from from this page here, instead of create an account, one-time payment, create a separate portal for events and go straight to that?
You could do that, and again, it wouldn't have to be out here. If we have it on the flyer, they don't necessarily need to navigate through the City of Port Richey website to get to payments. They could just QR code, and it would take them to that page, similar to what you did for when we had was it the survey. We had a separate survey site. They said a separate portal link specifically for the event payments. Now, as we do other stuff later on or whatever, you could integrate it into here. But I think to make it easy, they get a flyer, they scan it, it takes them right to that page. They put in buying this event, drop down, bowling, $100, my name, address, pay, done.
Yeah, because I could only get them to go straight to the portal. I couldn't get them past that.
Yeah.
It didn't go through the city webpage. It just went straight to the portal, but it would not get past the CIT
No, they
7669.
want everyone to enter that because it times out.
And again, you can, like I said, whatever you need to do. If they want to put the back end past parameters, then we can do it that way. But you're still going to be caught up. I don't know how because you're going to get that page. One, you got to go one-time payment. Go ahead and click that. You're going to go to one-time payment. And before you even hear, you've got to go to pay online or whatever, and then you've got to put CIT, web ID. Even if we was pass those parameters in there, they still got to click that, and then they got to put in the amount in here. It's just way too cumbersome. You can do it, but if we're going to have them do something anyway, it'd probably be easier for us to design a new page, specifically paying the events, with a drop down of what the event is, and we should be able to have that back end table that we just, as the customer, we just put whatever values we want in there and populate a drop down. I mean, I don't know what kind of relationship you guys have with the company that does this, but
We'll have to talk to them.
Yeah.
That's probably a separate portal altogether to do that, but we'll have to talk to them.
but even if you can't make it user driven, you can tell them we need 5 options. We need fishing tournament, this price, this, and
So I'm wondering if we can't just do like a regular portal. It doesn't require web ID. It's just, hey, you come in here making a payment.
yes, we don't need web ID.
I think the web ID is only for the payments, but I'm wondering if they can just. We'll find.
Well, they'll probably need something to tell them when they do that event payment that it goes to that web ID or wherever that you're tracking from a financial perspective. We just need a page because the customer doesn't need to know any of that stuff. They just need to know, sign up for this event. Here's my charge. Do it.
You're going to be better off just finding a different e-pay solution. I mean, that's going to be quicker than this because you're going to be talking to them about totally redesigning what it is they provide.
Yeah.
And so they're going to get back to us and say, okay, here's what the cost is to do that. Then we're going to have to approve it, and then they're going to have to develop it. I don't think.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. You can do whatever.
Yeah, I just think it's easier to go find another
maybe Eventbrite
company.
See, I think the only way we do it, the only reason we do it this way is so we don't have to absorb these costs to pay for those.
Right.
Things. So I'll be honest with you, it'd probably be nice to be able to take payments at the window and do things. We can't do that now, and it's a pain for our customers. But let me see it. But we should have like he said. Let me see what I can do. I'll see you tomorrow. Because I know I can create as many portals as I want. They just require a web ID. That's because it goes through our billing.
And even those it's upcharging 3% on a credit card, 2% on a.
Well, we're not going to get away from that either.
Well, on a credit card, no.
Charge you.
But on a debit card, it should be no charge.
Right. I mean,
is
And yeah,
current
you
way
have to
still
know
accurate
what-
though? The CIT and the web ID.
It works.
It works. Okay, just it's what's on the flyer currently, and we can
Well, yeah,
at least get those out.
Well, those flyers are going to be solidified here probably by the next meeting, I would say. Week.
All that information
Well,
needs to be sent to us.
Done.
I don't know, next meeting, maybe the meeting after that, because I'm gonna be out of town next week.
Okay. Well, again, until those are done, we can't. We're losing weeks of time to advertise, and
Change the S, and mine's done.
just because we got a whole now, we can't sit back and realize we got extra time because that's time we need to push these events because we still want them to be successful events.
even if she doesn't have time to make, put pictures and logos and everything together, even if we have to do a basic flyer with everyone's general information and payment information, we can get that out. So, and if she needs more time to do,
Well, honestly, focus on the ones that are coming first.
graphic design is graphic design, but I mean, if we could have to do something basic with the Centennial logo on it and just some jotted information and get that out.
Check with the bank. Maybe the bank has something we can grab that just comes in and does that and just processes through. Yeah, like a square type thing.
What about QuickBooks?
What's that?
QuickBooks.
We don't use
Intuit has a product I use.
Yeah, we don't have it.
Yeah, but Intuit's really easy to sign up for. It's 1% less than most, and there's no transaction fee. I literally have a little disc I carry around, or you can invoice and everything goes through.
I'll ask Chopper Knight. Chopper actually does something with point of sale. I don't know.
Yeah, you can get a point of sale. It's going to take time. They'll send you a box, a reader, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm wondering if I can. But I'll check with this and see if we can do something. The bank probably has something that we can make payments and it just go right into the account. We set it up and it goes to the Centennial account or whatever the case may be, or I move it myself.
Let me ask you this: Is it possible for the municipality to have a Zelle or PayPal or something like that?
What I just said earlier, we're better off doing something like that.
Yeah. What specifically though? PayPal is very popular. Anybody can use it.
Well, they just cost money.
Venmo is another one.
Costs money to move the
Cash
money
App.
No, it doesn't cost anything to move out of PayPal if you
Yeah,
allow 3 to 10 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's no money.
Yeah. He's gonna look into it. Yeah. If we could have that solidified by next meeting, so that we can get these QR codes out and get those things out, we'll be much better shape. So.
Can everyone send the particulars of each of their events to Ashley so that she can get them out to Kim? And then that way we have all the information that we need for the flyers. And we'll talk about the payment information. So don't worry about the payment information.
We'll get
that worked out.
We'll work out tomorrow, but
Okay. Anything else, old business? All good? Sure?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?